Yeah, we
Okay,
are.
how you doing? Alternate Tuesday night. Um, I was just telling them about how they're gonna see you, and then I was like, oh no, they're not gonna see you. I forgot to put that screen up. We're waiting on one more who will be here soon. Um, they had a small child situation, as parents sometimes do, um, guardians do. So this is the brand new alternate Tuesday group of Curse of Strahd, and this is our session zero. Um, I'd asked them if we could do session zero live streaming, partially because I've I don't think I've ever seen somebody live stream session zero. Um, I'm really excited about it, but also because this way you can catch it from the very beginning, including the session zero, to where when we're about 20 sessions in and I accidentally cross a trigger, fail, hard no, or something like that. Um, you can be like, no, I remember seeing that in session zero, and you could like pull it up and be like, see, DM SETI, you were wrong. Um, because, I run 6 games, so sometimes I forget. Um, but I am human and it happens. Um, what I'd like to do right now, mainly for them, but also for you all, is go around the room, just kind of introduce yourself. Say your name that you want to use, um, the handle that you want to use. Something clearly happened to Cool Hand Dukes. There it is. Um, uh, the handle that you want to go by. Yeah, your screen went green for a second, dude. It was really cool. Um, Probably not for everybody else, but it looked cool to me. Um, so, a name that you want to go by. Um, Maybe a little bit about yourself, how long you've been playing D&D, if you know anyone else in the game here tonight, um, just whatever you want to introduce yourself. Think of this as the icebreaker. Okay? The one thing I would like you to talk about though is how you got introduced to D&D. Okay? Just to break the ice a little bit. Don't take as long as I could. Let's not take a long time talking about how we found out about D&D and then an hour later nobody else has gotten to
Mhm.
talk yet. So, just a brief few minutes, maybe your 60-second commercial of how you found out about D&D, how you discovered D&D. And then we'll go from there. Um, what I like to do is roll initiative for anything that has to be random. So I want all four of you to go ahead and give me that D20. You don't get to add a modifier or anything, but I will call you by a name that I know, and if you want to change it, you need to tell me that. Okay? Um, and of course, I'm going to go with somebody I know from real life first, just because it's easier for me that way. And that would be Danny. What'd you get, sir?
Oh, I got a 3.
Yes. You always roll so high. Fluffy, what did you get?
12.
A 12. Okay. Moon, what'd you get?
I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. Juniper, what did you get?
16.
16. How do you feel about that 16?
I have no idea if that's good or bad.
Um,
Mhm.
it means you get to go first.
Damn it.
um, but I'll go right before you just to make it a little easier.
hmm
How about
hmm
that? Okay. So
Okay.
I'm DM SETI. I am. Hey Cougar, how you doing? There's a Corbin. I saw Jinx in there earlier. Um, if I didn't call your name, I'm sorry. But I'm DM SETI. I have been DMing for a very long time. Since a couple of you were before you were born. Okay. I learned D&D back in the early 80s. I started DMing shortly after that, and I fell in love with it. I have tried a lot of different TTRPGs, and I always come home to my first love, and that's D&D. Um, I remember
Because I'm a
Ravenloft.
dangerous sociopath with a long history of violence.
There she is.
Yeah.
Hopefully he stays quiet. Hold on, let me fix my light.
And as soon as you get situated, I need a D20. It's your initiative. You don't get to add anything to it, Missy. Juniper, hope for
I
a
need a
high
what?
number. I need a D20.
I mean,
Roll a d20.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes. Roll a D20. Baptism by fire.
14.
Oh,
Damn it.
almost Juniper. Okay. So right now we're doing introductions, and I had everyone roll initiative for introductions. So you got lucky.
Okay, that's fair.
So I don't know. I'm an open book, and I could go on and talk about myself for a very long time because I love to talk. But the bottom line is that I knew Ravenloft long before fifth edition, long before the 2024-2025 rules, whatever it is. Back when when Ravenloft, which is what Curse of Strahd originally came from, Ravenloft came out. I believe it was during the advanced D&D days, which was before second edition, but after first edition. And I've just always I've loved it, but I wasn't like in love with it. And Curse of Strahd came along. I got to play in it several years ago. And the DM did this speed run that we finished Curse of Strahd. I think we did it in 6 to 8 sessions. Now, granted, they were like 7-hour sessions, but there were so many things that we never got to explore. And certain things that I said, if I ever get to run it, I'm going to do differently. Fast forward to about 2 years ago, I started DMing online. And then a little over a year ago, hanging out in Floki's Tavern, I decided, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna offer up. I'm gonna start DMing. I applied it, start playing games, started DMing there and everything. Couldn't figure out what I was trying to do. My homebrew campaign that I ran. I did have a stream that was going of my homebrew campaign, and we were gaining some traction and everything. And things happen. Situation doesn't matter. Point is, I asked the tavern. I was like, "Hey, what? If you guys could play in any campaign, what would you want it to be?" And it was Curse of Strahd. I now run. This is the 6th campaign within the continuity of me running them all at the same time. I like to call it my Strahdverse. I like to do little crossovers every once in a while. I love throwing in eggs, Easter eggs, to where, if somebody's watching from Thursday night, on Monday night, they'll be like, I know what that is. And everybody from Monday night will be like, what's happening? I love doing things like that. I love the recurring NPCs. I've added a bunch of new NPCs. And I've also gone with a lot of the Mandy Mod stuff that Mandy Mod has added. She added the orphanage. She expanded on so many different things that I was like, man, I love that. A lot of people complain that Curse of Strahd doesn't have enough meat, that it's too sandboxy, and I love that it's sandboxy because it is a different campaign every single time you run it, and I love that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what these brave adventurers bring to it. And now I want to introduce you to them. Juniper, if you'd go, please go first.
Hello, everyone. I am Juniper. I've been playing D&D for a couple years now, on and off. Mostly off, but still. I've played in West Marches. I've played small in-person campaigns, and I really got into it. Well, I'd first heard about it, just, through the grapevine growing up. And then I actually got these books here and started reading about the universe. And then I got to playing with a friend.
Nice. And you prefer to go by Juniper?
Yes, please.
Okay, very well. Any specific pronouns for you personally?
She, her.
She, her.
Or they, them. Either or.
Or they, them. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to add, Juniper?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Missy, I know you jumped in late. I just want a name that you want everyone to call you personally. How you found out about D&D, how you discovered D&D, and anything that you want to share, just don't take as long as I did.
That's fair.
Well, that's not fair.
And you are second in initiative order. So
Oh
go
boy,
right ahead.
let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am Missy. You can call me Missy. My real name's Alex. I respond to either or hey bitch. Either way's fine. I usually go by Missy though. I started playing D&D a couple years ago, and I've been just like Juniper. I'm playing on and off for a couple of years. I'm still what you'd consider a newer player, but I like to learn. I like to have fun. I usually play a bard just because I'm a sarcastic asshole, so I feel like it fits. And sorry for my lateness. I have a 7-month-old son, and I might have to bounce in and out. I'll try not to until he falls asleep, but he is currently at that age of fighting sleep. So he is currently crying yet again because he doesn't want to go to bed, but he keeps rubbing his eyes because he's tired. Anywho, but I'm glad to be here, and I look forward to seeing what chaos we can get into. But yeah, that's about it. I'm a dog
Thank
groomer
you.
for a job, and I love
Oh, yeah.
what I do. So,
And you're a super mom, so thank you for that.
shit. Yeah, I have him on a monitor right now, and he is currently fighting, trying to go to bed. He's just crying and
Little
crawling
guy.
around the crib.
We
So I'm gonna
had
leave him alone for a minute and see if he falls asleep.
we had 4 daughters, and the first couple were really good at just going to sleep on their own, and then we had one that we tried the whole crying herself to sleep, and she won. She beat us. We could not stand waiting, because she would just cry and cry. We'd check on her every 10, 15 minutes. We'd check on her every half hour. And when it got to the point where it was like, oh my gosh, she's been in there for over an hour and a half just crying and us checking on her. Never mind, it's not bedtime. So, Fluffy, you were up.
He's been
Oh,
yeah,
no, go
he's been
ahead.
rubbing his eyes like he's been rubbing his eyes like crazy, and so I might have to jump up real quick and go check on him. But he has a clean diaper. He had a bottle. He's passy. He's in a dark room. He got his lights going. It's just that age where it's like he wants to crawl around. He wants to go do things, but
Hardcore
his
FOMO
body's
from
like,
birth.
you're tired. Yeah, honest to God. Yeah,
Yep.
no shit.
Fluffy, if you would please. You're muted.
You're muted.
That would help. Really,
It
it
would.
would help. My name is Fluffy Alpaca GM. That's my internet handle. I go by Fluffy for short. I'm 55, married, 2 grown kids. I've been playing D&D off and on since the late 80s, but it really took a hold of me, and I started doing it full time at the start of the pandemic, when the opportunity to be around people wasn't as able to happen, and my neurodivergent tendencies requires a social outlet and interaction with people. So I started DMing in 2020 and haven't really stopped since. The thing that people probably should know about me is I am neurodivergent AF, especially on the autism spectrum. So I may not be as camera ready as a lot of people you see on Twitch. My eyes will dart all over the place. I have a weird sense of humor. I sometimes have problems reading the room, but I do my best, and I've been told that my best has been pretty damn good lately. So
Thank you.
Yeah, I know the feeling with the neurodivergence on Twitch. I'm sure the viewers have seen me going every which way, looking at other stuff.
yeah,
I love you guys already. Okay, Moon.
We love you too.
Yes.
Oh. Alrighty, mine. I go by Moonblight on most of my socials, but you can call me Moon. My real name is Jordan, with an A, not a Y, not an O. You know, the every other spelling that Jordan is called. So I got into D&D uh, about 2, 3 years ago. I've been playing on and off, but most recently, this past year, I've started playing more on a consistent schedule. So yeah, yeah. I'm an artist. I do digital and traditional art. And
Oh,
yes, I'm also neurodivergent. So yeah, it's chaos 24/7. But you know what? I'm okay with that.
nice.
I adore you, Moon. I really do. I adore you.
Moon, do you do commissions?
Not yet. I'm still working on my art style, which is constantly, but I'm open to at least sketching because I will probably sketch D&D characters at some point.
Okay, because I'm gonna have a character at some point tonight that it's gonna need a visual.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can at least do sketches and have fun because I'll
Okay.
probably do that with sessions anyway.
Sweet. Okay, Danny. You're up, old man.
Oh, I'm not the old man.
I know.
Pass. I'm Danny. That's fine. Duke's fine. Character name will be fine. Whatever works. I'm easy. Um, I have been involved. Maybe I am the old man. That was my pills reminder. Um, I have been involved with D&D for probably 40 years. Started out with reading the books that Juniper has, and fell in love with the world, the just the whole world of that. And from a small town, there was not really a whole lot of people to play with. When I say not many, I mean zero. Uh, but I did read. I did make characters. I did all the cool things that I still like doing now, just without other people. And then when my oldest daughter got involved with someone as a way to connect, we started playing, and I started DMing, and um, we kind of threw some campaigns together that way. I've DM'd Rossetti for a little bit, um, and just enamored with the whole world of it. Just everything about it. I started liking it just for the combats, but now I really enjoy the role play aspect of it more than anything. Um, so if you need to find me on my socials, I'm on my chart.
Yeah, I have a couple jokesters here, so that'll be good to do. Looking forward to that. So, let's go ahead and get to some meat and potatoes, kids. Um, so we've already gone through the who am I, the history, D&D, blah blah blah. As
Right.
far as my DMing style, um, I like to be very story driven, and I'm also rule of cool majority of the time. Um,
Mhm.
I have forgotten more rules than they changed to print 2024. Having started way back in the white box days, there's so many rules that just have been thrown out. Um, but my favorite way to DM is to let the dice tell the story. You will see me rolling a lot, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything good or bad. Um, one of my internet children bought me, um, one of my internet friends bought me this really cool dice tower for Father's Day. I'm
That's
bringing
cool.
it up because on the back of it, in Latin, it says, "Let the dice tell the story."
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
And
That's
Good for
awesome.
kids.
yeah, I as soon as I opened it, they're like, do you know what that means? I was like, my Latin's a little rusty, and by rusty I mean non-existent. What's it mean? And when she told me, I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. So one of the things that I started doing a long time ago is my yes or no, where I will take two D20s. One is my yes, the other is the no, and I will roll them together. And almost like the Magic 8 Ball, a Ouija board, whatever you want to say, I let the dice tell the story. And it has never let me down. The story that comes out when I let the dice tell the story is a beautiful story. It is not necessarily what the characters, players, or myself wanted, but it is a beautiful story every time. Prime example was the other night. I knew what I wanted to have happen, so I purposely chose the D20 that I knew usually rolled high. It didn't roll high that time, even though I wanted that to really happen. So if you see me rolling, don't freak out. It's okay. One of the other things, like we rolled earlier, for the initiative order, I like rolling to see who wakes up first. So if I tell you to roll a Constitution save, it doesn't mean you're being attacked by something. It's especially if everybody was asleep. It most likely means who's waking up first. Things like that. So please don't freak out over dice rolls. It's okay. Speaking of dice rolls, if you want to use digital, use digital. If you want to use your hand dice at home, your porcelain dice, your wooden dice, your ceramic dice, your silicone, whatever dice you have at home, your metal dice, plastic, acrylic, use those. That's fine.
I'm gonna grab mine.
If you want to use your phone to roll dice, if you want to use owlbear to roll dice, honestly, whatever you want to use to roll dice, it's fine with me, because I let the dice tell the story. And if you feel like you need to lie about what you rolled, that's between you and your beliefs. That's between you and yourself. Okay? There's too much there I don't want to unpack. Seriously, just you're cheating yourself out of a cool story if you lie about what you rolled. That's that part. So let's talk about Curse of Strahd, which is this campaign. Okay? It is a horror campaign. Okay? There might be some themes that are a little disturbing. This is the 6th in the series of, actually it's the 7th in the series of the COS campaigns, Curse of Strahd campaigns, that I like to call the Strahdverse. There was one huge crossover event in March that I called March Madness. And if we're still in Strahd come this next March, there's probably going to be another one. Okay? Few house rules. Inspiration. I have no problem with people getting inspiration. And my inspiration's a D8. So if I say, hey, you get inspiration, you get a D8 that you can add to whatever. Okay? Except for damage. You can't add a D8 to the actual damage roll. But anything else, you could add that D8 to. You can have up to 5 in the bank. Once you hit 5, you're locked out. You can't get more than 5. You have to use 1, get down to 4, and then get your 5th one. No, you cannot hand them out to other people. I prefer voting on inspiration. And I don't necessarily mean vote. If Fluffy does something that is just simply amazing, I may miss it. I may not have caught how amazing that was. But say, for example, Moon, you're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing, Fluffy. Hey, DM SETI, I'd like to nominate Fluffy for an inspiration. You can do it right then. Please don't do it if it's like an intense, hardcore, role-playing scene. Once it calms down or we move on or something, bring it up. But if one of your co-players does something amazing, please nominate them, okay? Because I'll likely forget or not even think about it. And then I'll surprise you every once in a while and just be like, oh yeah, that's totally worthy of an inspiration. Crit rules. So a critical success for you, if you score a crit on an enemy, or even on a friend, whatever, and you do you, that nat
It
20,
happens.
it does happen, especially with Shatter. If if you score a crit, you do max damage automatically. Max damage across the board. You then roll the damage of the weapon. So if you get sneak attack, you will automatically do max damage for that sneak attack. But then when you roll damage, you don't get to roll more sneak attack. You did max sneak attack damage. If you are, and that is because of Gloomstalkers and Rogues and people like that, if you got to do max damage and rolls, by the time you end up getting so many levels up, you could do 128 damage with one single arrow, and that's ridiculous. So you do max damage plus damage of the weapon. If the sword does 2d12 plus 2, you obviously would do 14 plus 2d12 plus 2. Now, if you threw a smite on there, if you're a paladin, your smite would have been maxed, and then you just roll the 2d12 or 2d6. What did I say? I just threw.
You said 2d12.
Okay,
2d12 plus
fruity.
2.
Okay, 2d12 plus 2 is 26, not. Yeah, I said 2d12, but I was thinking 2d6. Anyway, yeah, that's what you do. Okay, it's max damage plus the roll of the dice. Now, if the villain or if they roll a crit to hit you, it's the same exact thing. But the other thing I like to do is I like to roll my body location die to determine where that crit was. I don't require you to take that scar, but I like you to, okay? Because it was a crit hit. It means something. I like it to be scarred. And the only way that scar can be actually healed, even though you would heal back all your damage with magic and everything else, and potions of healing and long rest and blah, 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 blah. The only way that scar goes away is with restoration. A lesser restoration will do, but restoration. There is a player on Wednesday night. Her call name is Aqua. Her character is Runa. She cosplays Runa. She was cosplaying Runa from the very beginning of Curse of Strahd. I mean, she dresses up. She does her TikToks and everything, right? She has a group that she cosplays with. And on Wednesday night, she got hit with a crit. And when I rolled, it was a headshot. And I was like, okay, just so you know, Aqua, it's a headshot. I'm not telling you where. You decide. You can have it to the back because I don't want it to mess up your makeup for your TikTok. She was like, hey, can I lose an eye? I was like, what? She's like, can I lose an eye? I want to lose an eye. I was like, okay, sure. She went out and bought the white contacts so that she could have one eye white. She started doing scarification on her eye. She slowly over time is letting the scar get a little thinner and everything to where it's going to be a permanent scar. But she's doing the aging of the scar for her TikTok cosplays. Okay? We worked in that. Look, if you lost your eye, you're going to lose on left side. You're going to lose some of your perception. So if it's a perception roll for the left side, it's going to be at disadvantage. She was like, okay, that's fine. I understand. I was like, but you get intimidation advantage every time.
Oh yeah.
Those are
Because
cool.
and I mean she's a barbarian anyway, so why shouldn't it be intimidation? At a big old scar on her, that's an intimidation advantage. So,
I have met Lady Aqua, and she's a fucking badass. I love
isn't
her.
she though?
Yeah.
I adore Lady Aqua.
Yeah, she's one of my
Doesn't she
internet
also do
daughters.
like medieval something or other? Where
She
she
does.
does like
She does full. It's Viking reenactment.
Viking. Yeah, that's it. Viking.
That's
She's
cool.
had videos and shit. And I was like, you just keep getting cooler and cooler.
Yeah, she
You know,
is.
right?
She is badass. I love that girl. She really is. She's actually a mod in my Discord. So she's a badass little girl.
Aqua's
She's
fantastic.
been to my house and everything too. So it's really cool.
Does she?
Yeah, I
love
love
her.
that kid. So yeah,
She
that's
needs
my
to
crit
join
rules.
GFD.
I'll talk to her about it.
Do. I miss her. I haven't talked to her.
So crit fails. So a crit fail is a 1, a nat 1 on the die. And if you roll a crit fail, you're a freaking hero. I don't care what level you are, you're a freaking hero. Okay? That crit fail just means I want you to roll it again. Because see, there's this edition that I will not rename that came after 3.5 and before 5. Okay? And they had in there, if you rolled a crit success, you had to confirm your crit. I flipped it. If you roll a nat 1 as a hero in my world, you have to confirm that crit fail. Roll again. If you are so unfortunate that somebody got mail again, if you are so unfortunate that you get 2 crit fails in a row, yes, something bad is happening. But you had to roll 2 nat 1s in a row. If you roll under 5, yeah, you're going to drop your sword. You're going to, something, you're slipping, you fall down, something. But as long as you roll above a 5, you just missed. Or you didn't do damage, whatever the case may be. So that's how I do crit fails. Okay. Typically on villains and BBEGs, a crit fail for them is worse. To where I don't make them confirm it. Just something bad happens typically every time. Let's see. PvP. Unless both players agree upon it and it's for a narrative reason, I really would rather there be no PvP. I understand arguments occur, especially on the other Tuesday night. The arguments occur a lot. On Wednesday night, people get sassy every once in a while and cause problems. But Runa, Lady Aqua's character, is the leader of that group, and she kind of squashes problems right away. But the other Tuesday night group, they've had some arguments. Thursday night has had some arguments between characters. But it's never come to blows. And if you really think your character and that other character, if you really think your character would act on that, let's talk. Let's talk off camera. Let's talk, in between, during the break, after the session, whatever the case may be. Put a pin in it and we'll come back to it. Because unless both parties agree that it's a PvP situation, I don't want to go there. I want it to be resolved as it's a role-playing game. Let's resolve it through role-playing. Already talked about the dice. Okay. I'm going to get to that in a second. We're going to come back to that one. I'll highlight that. Potion rules. So, if you have a potion of healing and we're in combat and you use an action on that potion, you get max. Whatever that max is because you used an action. If you use a bonus action, you have to roll to get that healing back. Going back to crits for a second, you can crit a spell. In my world, spells can be critted. Definitely. Success and failure. Spells can be critted. Talked about the rule of cool. Player expectations. There are a multitude of different play styles in D&D, and my goal as a DM is to make the experience fun for all the players. If there is an issue that is getting in the way of any of you having fun at the table, please bring it to me first, okay? So we can discuss it. I'd rather handle issues while they are still minor before they become big enough to explode. There was a situation early on where one of the players was treating the game like it was a solo adventure. Almost like, I mean, he had main character energy, and he really did treat it like it was his game, and everyone else was just like there for the show. And other players started getting really aggravated about it. He started setting things up to where it was going to hurt the party at whole because of his arrogance and his decision making. I have a tendency, I'm in management, and I unfortunately have a tendency to not see a problem until somebody brings it to me. Doesn't mean there wasn't a problem. It means that it must not have been a problem because nobody brought it to me. I mean, I might have seen the problem, but if nobody else complains to me, I guess it's not a problem for anyone. I understand that's going to require you, whether you have anxiety or whether you're a severe introvert, whatever the case may be, it's going to require you to reach out to me. Reach out in Discord. You don't have to even talk to me. You could just send me a message. And because we play every other week on this Tuesday, that gives you a little bit of time to where you could think out what you need to say, and you could type it out and send it to me. I am not a private person. If you need my phone number, you can have it. I'm not going to give it to to Twitch because I don't want Cougar having it. I mean, I don't want just anyone having it. I love you, Cougar, but you can't have my number. But if you need my number, you can have my number. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. You can have my mailing address. Almost everyone already does. I'm not worried about that. My home address. You can have almost everything except for my dog, my dice, my family, and my computer. Otherwise, yeah, I'll give it to you. I'm not really worried about it. Okay, there's a few, like my mimic. You can't have my mimic. I love my mimic. And my grandchildren. Can't have them. But yeah.
You didn't say social security number. Just kidding. No.
Sure, I'm not worried about it.
I'm just kidding.
He's
I'm
like,
not,
take
again,
it. Please take my debt.
Right? Please take my identity and make something.
Can I have your credit card number and those special 3 numbers from the back?
Just so you know, there is a reason why Mama Seti does not let me have a credit card.
Fair enough. I'm even surprised.
One word.
And
one word. That reason is dice.
On dice, yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Daddy said he would have $30,000 in dice debt.
You have $3,000 credit card that you've maxed out. What did you buy? And he's just holding boxes of dice. I don't know what you're talking about.
You saw nothing.
I bought precious gemstones.
Right?
Bought rocks.
They're my babies.
I bought number rocks.
They are. I love my dice. So I
yeah.
totally get it.
Right here in front of me, I have my concrete dice.
I have a red and gold set.
They're so cool. I love my concrete dice. Mama Seti does not like the concrete dice. She was like, "That's not concrete." I could have gone outside and chipped some concrete up and made you some. I was like, "No, those are my concrete dice." I mean, I bought. The seller said they were concrete. They look like concrete. They feel like concrete. They're concrete dice. They're cool.
They're rocks. They're hard.
Out of context
Can someone
quotes.
make
So you know.
asphalt dice?
Oh my gosh, that would be cool.
God, here we go.
That would be cool. There's a seller that I've been looking at that'll make me terracotta dice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I want gemstone dice. I want like specifically the labradorite dice that I've been
Mm-hmm.
eyeing for months.
I have a
I
couple
want
different
them.
gemstone dice.
They're so pretty.
They are. They are. Um,
Can you see?
I recently ordered some African buffalo horn. African water buffalo. The horns
Hmm.
don't come from me, PETA.
Ooh.
Um, somebody else was gonna buy them if I didn't. Um, but yeah, there's some actual horn dice. That's cool. Um,
They make dice out of everything. It's so funny.
It's crazy what dice can be made out of.
I've had an idea for a die that I wanted for a while. It'd be a 4-pound stainless steel dice, specifically for rolling death saves in major narrative decisions.
Ooh.
I know a guy that could make that.
I couldn't make that. I have welding skills.
I am a
There you
machinist.
go. Look
You
at
could make
this.
Hey, we're getting stuff done.
We are. We
The,
are.
the fixturing is going to be a bitch, though.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Quick
Let's
saves,
talk
quick
about.
fails.
Yeah.
PvP.
Let's talk about lines and
Sex,
veils.
baby.
Um,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. You're fine. Put simply, a line is something which will never come up as part of a campaign or a session, while a veil ensures that whilst an action or an event might take place, it'll be off screen. It'll be mentioned in passing. It will not be dwelled on in detail and not a significant part of any plot or encounter. These are important for maintaining the fun of the table, and Session 0 is where we talk about them. If you do not feel comfortable saying any line or veil out loud, I want you to message it to me, okay? Please. And I'd like all of you to at least pretend for the next few minutes to be typing so that nobody knows who really sent me the message, okay? So, lines and veils. Here's one of the hardest parts of DMing Curse of Strahd. I had a player whose line, and if I trigger you by saying this, I apologize. His line was death by hanging, or hanging in general. And he didn't bring it up because for whatever reason, he didn't think it was ever going to come up. There's a scene somewhat early on of nooses at gallows, and he immediately messaged me when it happened, and I was like, dude, I am so sorry. I am sorry. That is not necessarily such a hardcore integral part of the storyline that I couldn't change it from that to a guillotine. It can be changed. I forgot later on again. Further on in the story, it comes up again. I remembered as I was describing it and immediately was like, I'm sorry. And he was like, dude, it's okay. It's okay. You helped me deal with it the first time, and I'm okay with it. Go on. I'm not saying let's use Curse of Strahd to heal trauma. I'm not saying that at all. Okay? I am saying I am so human, and I do have such a dark humor. I'm a survivor myself. I have children who are survivors of SA. I have attempted to unalive myself before. But unfortunately, for the rest of the world, I have healed so much that I don't have I have joked about some things that other people be like, dude, you can't joke about that. I'm like, it's my trauma. Why can't I joke about my trauma? But it was my trauma.
Trauma makes you funny.
Why can't I joke about my trauma? And they're like, because that's going to make other people uncomfortable. Like, they're uncomfortable about my trauma? That I have a little bit of the
Not even theirs.
just enough to not understand. Okay? Right, if it's their trauma, yeah, I get that. But, like, they didn't have that trauma, but they were uncomfortable because I'm joking about my trauma. And that made them uncomfortable. Your trauma is your trauma, and I don't want to trigger anyone, especially having daughters who I understand. Triggers really do exist. They're a real thing. I want to promise you that SA will not occur in my Curse of Strahd. At all. Does that mean flirting won't occur? No, there will be flirting. There will be lots of flirting. There will be male to male flirting. There will be male to female flirting. There will be female to male flirting. There will be female to female flirting. There might even be some animal flirting, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay? Don't look at me like that, Dova. I saw that look. I saw that judgment.
Well, you said there was going to be flirting, and I said, well, of course there is. Dova's here.
True.
She flirts with everybody.
There are a couple characters that are very flirtatious. So that will occur. SA won't. Okay, period. And if you tell me here and now, or send me a message here and now, hey, do not flirt with me under any circumstance, okay, I will try my very best to lock that in and never flirt with you. If I start to flirt with you, please remind me immediately, and I will apologize and stop.
I don't want you to flirt with me in character. I want you to flirt with me to you.
Okay. No problem, Dova. No problem.
Yep, there.
There it is.
Pretty sure we were waiting on that.
I was trying to be good, but no, you had to bring it up.
I will, every time. I brought it up.
My favorite...
No, not you, Missy.
I said that was a flirt. I knew it was at me. That's why I was like, I had to, man.
Now, something that comes up that it is such a veil. Thursday, it's such a veil that Thursday night was convinced there was an incestual situation.
Oh boy.
Right? If you believe that occurred, that's in your head, just so you know. Those words will not come out of my mouth. It's what you read into it, and I'm not purposely setting it up to make it look like that. I swear I'm not setting it up to look like that. There is some obsession, where one character is obsessed with another. A very creepy obsession. And I'm not even talking about Strahd. I'm talking about a different NPC who has a creepy obsession. With another NPC. So it's not like they're obsessed over one of you. But the next thing is... I'm gonna leave that one. The next one is animal harm. I know we have a dog groomer in here, and we have 2 dog groomers in here. There is a strong possibility for animal harm, but I will glaze over it best I can anyway. I will not go into graphic details. I promise you that. There is a scene where there's a whole lot of birds who are caged up, who do not look healthy. Birds don't even exist, but some people believe that they do and could be hurt by the fact that they're caged up and not getting special treatment. Giraffes are not real either, just so we all understand each other. So, children. Whoever wrote Curse of Strahd had a lot of childhood trauma. there are children who were unalived. There are children who are being hurt. I won't go into detail about the hurt. There are children who have been abused. I won't go into detail describing the abuse, in game or now. You will see after effects. You will see what's going on now with those children. Okay? And you as the heroes of this story, you as the characters in this story, okay, you're going to be saving a whole lot of kids. Okay? Just so you know, early on, there's a whole lot of kids saving. A whole lot of kids saving. More than I even realized at first. I mean, I knew there was some, and then as it kept going, I was like, dude, who hurt this guy? The guy who wrote this was hurt. Because there is a lot. But there is a scene where if you do not make the right decision, a child can die. And I will do everything within my power to help you make the right decision without railroading you. Including fudging some dice so that the child doesn't die. Because I don't want that to happen either. Okay? That does not help the story in any way, shape, or form. But I need you all understanding that it is a dark story. And if you do not want to be involved, I understand. There are going to be light-hearted moments, especially with you five. I can already tell. I know a couple of you are really big jokesters. I know that, yeah, you can keep looking around, sir, but you are the king of dad jokes on Sunday night.
This isn't Sunday.
Challenge.
This is serious Tuesday night.
Oh, this is serious.
Duke, if you're not going to make the dad jokes, I will be. So you might as well come correct.
I have a tendency to run serious anyway. All I ask is that if you want to have fun, let's have fun. Please don't do slapstick. Because I struggle with slapstick. Thursday night had a pie fight, and they kept it serious. It wasn't Harvey Coleman slapstick. That's probably way over your head, Moon. It's okay.
Corman.
Corman. Okay, sorry. It was more of a Charlie Chaplin. I do not go down.
When the world was in black and white.
Yes, when it was black and white. I don't go down the BBC comedy routine. I prefer more serious humor. You know, I prefer the puns and stuff like that instead of slapstick.
Fair enough.
Just my personal preference. I will work with it because it's your guys' game too. I do
think
ask.
one of the darkest things when it comes to kids that I've ever dealt with in a game was children being turned into candy.
Yeah, that
sweet.
That was dark. It was a great game. Like, we had a lot of fucking fun. But yeah, the dark part came, and
I was there
DM
for the
warned
second
us and was
session.
like,
I was there for the second. Yeah.
were you?
Yeah, I was.
Winter Dominion.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was there for the
Kids
second
being turned
winter.
into candy.
Yeah.
I was not there for that.
Voldemort decided to play a game called, or he was doing the game Winter Dominion that he made. I think he made it up, and it was very well done. And I played in both years that it was on, because he had done it 2 years in a row, and I was in both games. I was planning on being in this year, but oh well. But one of the dark moments of it, when it comes to like children and dark shit happening and children being unalived, was when we found out that kids were being turned into candy. Like, they were being ground up and turned into candy. And we were like,
there's some similar. I don't want to ruin anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a trope anyway. You know, it's the whole Hansel and Gretel trope. But
we were just like, fuck, all right.
Yeah, it was. You know, actually, when we got down to hell and we saw those puppet guys,
Yeah.
that was scary. That legitimately for me, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
these things are creepy scary.
Yeah. He did a great job with that
He
whole
did.
thing. So
He did.
you know,
Uh,
I give him credit where credit's due.
So, going in reverse order, and if you don't have a trigger, say you don't have a trigger. It's okay. Reverse order, Mr. Duke, Danny, anything that is a line, a veil.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nothing that you haven't touched on.
Okay. Moon.
Nothing that you haven't touched on, but I will mention yelling, unless you tell me ahead of time. But that was probably one of the lines. But as long as I'm told ahead of time, I'm all good.
Okay.
So
There is a character when he walks in, he will yell. I will warn
oh
you
yeah.
before that session that there's going to be a character that you. Why'd you shake your head? You love that character. So you know, this is Danny's second time through. He's not even done with the first time through. He wanted to come back and do it again. My wife also loves, and I'll tell you his name right now. His name is Rictavio.
Love his name.
And
Pain in my ass.
Mama said he just said, I heard that. I'm going to give him a little sneak peek of Rictavio. So, Moon, be prepared. I'm going to yell.
Yeah. For future reference, it's not quite yelling if it's like excited yell. It's more if you're getting like
Angry?
more angry, that kind of yelling.
Okay.
I should have probably clarified that. Yeah.
It's okay.
So
It's okay.
I'm fine otherwise. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're still getting a sneak peek.
Okay.
I'm Rictavio, baby. How are you doing? Oh my God, that hair is is that plum? Is that plum or is that violet? Is that where did you get that color dye for that, honey? You are so brave. I would love to have my hair. Do you think that'd look good on me, or would it just look good next to me?
Oh, you could rock anything, darling.
So you're saying there's a chance that tomorrow morning I'll wake up next to you?
Not a chance. But you can certainly try.
Now, me, on the other hand, ooh, there is definitely a chance.
I was waiting on it.
We all wait on Nova. We're like, where's she at? It's coming.
That's when it comes to Dova.
That is Rictavio.
I love him.
Rictavio's life
He's
has
a
actually
gem.
been threatened to the point where I felt like I was being threatened. Yelling though, the only time I think I've yelled, so you know, Moon is I think there.
Put the dogs out.
Danny, correct me if I'm wrong, but a few Sundays ago.
Wrong.
Okay, thank you. So I thought that there was a chance a few Sundays ago somebody had gotten a little mouthy with Strahd, and Strahd decided to raise his voice and correct him. There was a time on a Monday night situation where Strahd also had to correct somebody. Those situations, Moon, I couldn't necessarily warn you because I don't know how people are
Those
going
are
to handle
totally
it.
fine.
But I
Yeah,
guarantee
that's totally
you, one of the things I love to do is, so we have our 8 at 8, which is a break at 8 o'clock because we start at 6. So we'll take a break at 8 o'clock. I call it the 8 at 8 because I will be gone for 8 minutes. I will come back. You don't have to come back right away. I will hang out with the Twitch people. I will hang out with anyone who came back. And even if everyone's back at 8, we're going to sit around and just talk for a little while, socialize, let Twitch see us being people, because we're people first. And the other thing I like to do is, at the end of the session, when everyone says goodbye, I want us all to hang out. Don't jump off immediately. Just hang out for a few seconds. Let's make sure everyone's okay. make sure that nobody's upset with anyone. Make sure nobody's upset with me. Make sure no one's just upset. Let's check in. Let's talk about how it went. Let's maybe do some highlights from each other. Let's just check in at the end of the session. Even if it was a great session, let's check in. Let's talk about how awesome it was and how we had so much fun. And I'm not asking for a late night. Fluffy, you're East Coast, aren't you, Fluff?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else East Coast?
Oh my.
Okay. I realize the game's not over till 11 o'clock. I'm not asking you to stay up till midnight. Give me 11:15, 11:20, so we can just make sure everything's okay.
No problem.
This is the earliest game that ends that I play in.
Okay.
So
That's right. You play with Avel.
yep.
The other thing that usually happens around 8, between 8 and 8:20 is it becomes Avel clock. Avel shows up. Avel is part of Adrenaline Junkies. She was in DFG for a little bit, and I'll talk to you about that later. She left, and I asked her why, and we can talk about that later off screen. But she pops in and just says hi and shows her support for me by just sitting in Twitch with her volume turned off, because she has this wish list of what she wants her Strahd campaign to be, and she needs Foundry, and I won't do Foundry. She wants it to be hardcore visual, and I won't go hardcore visual with Foundry, because I don't want to spend my time learning how to do all that cool stuff in Foundry. And there is a lot of cool stuff that happens in Foundry. Like in Foundry, are you all familiar with it?
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Danny, are you familiar at all with Foundry? In Foundry,
Not really, no.
In Foundry, for example, if Kurz is in the middle of the battlefield and one of your teammates fires off Shatter, everybody within the circle of Shatter would have sparks shoot off of them on the actual screen.
There is no better bells and whistles virtual tabletop
Yeah.
than Foundry, but there is a learning curve to do it, to
Yes.
use it.
There is.
It's why I love Foundry, but I cannot use it as a DM.
No.
It's too much.
It's a lot.
It not just the learning curve. It also requires you to take time to build out every single scene has to be built out. Every single character, not just players, NPCs also. Everybody has to be built out. It takes time I don't have to invest. Sorry, you guys get Owlbear. But
Use your imagination.
yes, and I am such a visual person anyway that I could do theater of the mind, but I know a lot of people can't. So there will be a map. You will have
Right.
that. This right here is just the background of the map. That actually I will pull up. I used this for the one shot that one of the characters, that one of the people from the tavern actually won. So you have tokens.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, was that mean of me to remind you of that?
That's
I'm
horrible.
sorry. They
Freaking.
I was auctioned off as a DM in the in Floki's Tavern for
Oh my god.
and Danny was one of the people that was bidding on me against one of my other players, and the other player won, and he chose to have an all evil campaign where they were hunting down the last unicorn.
Oh my god.
Ooh, that sounds neat.
They were not happy with me because the unicorn escaped.
They never said how it had to end.
No.
True.
But so I will need you to give me what you would like your character to look like. If not tonight, and I must be hungry. I do not need it tonight, but I will need it preferably in 13 days. Please don't make me wait 14. Don't make me wait until the Tuesday of the game to get your token, because I go in, I give it the cool little outline. I put your name on it and everything. But also, once I have your character token, I have a lady that takes care of my website for me, and she will throw your character and everything up on the website so that it shows you. I also run during the game right over here to your right, above where it says the face palms, the nat 20 and the nat 1s for our Twitch viewers. We'll be constantly running a stream of your character and your character's name, your character's class, your character's race, and any social media that you want people to be able to see, to be able to reach out to you if they wanted to. There it started up. I didn't even know it was there. I don't remember clicking on that. There's a ghost in my machine. Anyway, I know I jumped way ahead, but that gave anyone who needed to time to send me anything. So let's see if I have any.
I didn't. I was going to share mine, so I didn't send you anything.
Okay.
I actually have art.
Would you rather it be sent?
No. That was if you wanted to be anonymous. If it was something you didn't even feel comfortable talking about. So Moon didn't have anything. Next in order was you, Fluffy.
It's interesting that you brought up PvP because inter-party betrayal and conflict. I don't mean just having an argument. I mean somebody actively screwing the party over from within or being attacked or things like that is an emotional trigger for me because I've had it happen too often at tables and I've been the victim. So, and other than that, themes of isolation and abandonment is also part of that too, because being autistic, I've lost a lot of friends along the way from people who hadn't gotten the time to understand me and how my tics operate and things like that. So I've learned over the years to be a lot more upfront when I meet new people, so that in an attempt to hopefully avoid it.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple questions. So there are several NPCs at various stages who will be either wrongfully incarcerated in a closet or purposely trapped in a basement.
Okay.
But those are NPCs.
I think I know what you're getting at. As long as it's coming from your mouth, I should be okay.
Okay.
But if that bitch Missy stabs me in the back, and I'm kidding, Missy.
So, Missy,
I haven't known
remember
you
how
long
you and
enough
I
to know if you're a
talked about
bitch or
how
not.
you wanted to betray everybody? We're gonna have to throw that out. You don't get to do that, Missy.
Oh shit! All right, well.
Understood,
Raise
Fluffy.
up from my ideas.
Okay, that's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay.
Yep.
Missy, what about you?
I don't think I have any. I said before, I've told people before I'm very hard to trigger, hard to offend. So, I don't think I have anything. I used to have the same trigger as Moon with like the aggressive yelling, but as I've gone through healing on my own, it doesn't bother me anymore. Because I know it's not directly at me.
Yeah.
Or if it is, it's at my character and not me directly, so I'm cool with whatever.
Sorry, I was listening to you, but I was looking over the Twitch, and man, I adore Cougar. That woman will keep a Twitch alive. Okay.
I noticed she did. Quick aside, the one shot we did on Saturday, she had a running commentary for that too.
Yes.
I get the sense that's Cougar's thing.
It is.
And I love it.
It is. She is chaos incarnate, but when you get her playing itself, no, she's a phenomenon. And Cougar, go ahead and get out some Kleenex because You're a phenomenal role player. I had a lot of fun playing beside you on Saturday in that one shot.
Indeed.
Okay, Juniper, Dova.
Yeah, I also am very hard to trigger, hard to offend. If there's anything that you could do to do that, honestly, I'd like to know because I've yet to find it.
We were playing at Danny's house one time, and totally forgot. My daughter sitting right next to me, playing along, totally forgot that my daughter, horrible arachnophobia. And Danny has this wicked cool skull with a spider on top, dice tower, sitting in the center of the table. Has it gotten painted yet?
Yeah, no. And one of the combats was giant spiders too, and I didn't know.
It, I found out some of my daughter's triggers before they were called triggers years ago, introducing her to RPGs, and we're sitting there. I knew that she was terrified of spiders. I knew she was terrified of clowns. And her first game, my best friend ran a one-shot on Halloween where we faced clown spiders.
Oh no.
Nice.
And as soon as he started describing it, my eyes kind of got wide, and I was like, oh crap. And I felt her hand on my bicep, and she just started squeezing more and more. And I was like, hey, Bobo? That's what I call my best friend. Like, hey, Bobo, we got a little problem here. So yeah, triggers can be a real thing. I'm glad that that majority of you don't, and I'm glad that we can work around the ones that are veils. Next veil line is any type of sex. We will fade to black. The most you're going to get is a kiss, and then it will fade to black. That includes if you have PvP relationships. Dova, you will get as far as being able to kiss Fluffy before I fade to black. Just
Nice.
so you know. That's as far
So now
as
I know where success is.
Seti, I guarantee you I will not be that lucky.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and we're going to fade to black. Okay, that's all there is to it, because we don't need to. There's other places they can go, and there's other places you can go if that's what you want to role play. It has very, 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 very little to do with the story. If we fade to black and it doesn't go any further, because Thursday night, there's a situation where Thursday night is ladies' night. There are only female players, okay, and they all play females. And they ended up deciding that they were going to go seduce two prominent people. It was the bard and the paladin. Went to go seduce two of the most prominent people. Okay? The paladin, the person she was trying to seduce, got very intoxicated and passed out. And they took these two people home too, to their home, not to the character's home, but to the NPC home. The paladin's person passed out. The other person, we faded to black as they were kissing in the bedroom, but the player and I discussed it that we needed to know what did happen after that. So off session, we rolled some dice, we talked about it, discussed it, and they are in a serious relationship now. It has always been fade to black, though. The most anyone will hear or see is a kiss. There's another person on Thursday nights freaking so much romance, it's ridiculous. There are 5 female players, and
know your audience.
I get to play 3 male boyfriends, 1 female boyfriend, and, or 1 female girlfriend. I mean, yeah. So, anyway, one of the other romances that occurred on Thursday night was they haven't done anything behind closed doors. It's always faded to black with the kiss. And the rest of the party's convinced it's gone so much further.
Oh my god.
Convinced. And it hasn't. I do need a secretary. Thank you, Cougar. I appreciate that. I have a personal assistant and a wife, not the same person. So that's sex in Barovia. It all happens in the dark. Okay.
It's like most of Barovia happens in the dark.
Yes. There will be times when I will say the sun comes up, and it's not the sun coming up. I mean that it gets a little lighter outside. I slip once in a while and say, when the sun rises. It doesn't. I mean, the sun rises, but it's always behind clouds. It's always mist. It's always... It's never sunny in Barovia. It's a shirt. You can actually go down to the About section and click on that because I did have my merch mistress make me a shirt that says it's never sunny in Barovia because I thought it was cool and I wanted a shirt that says it, and then somebody stole the idea and made another shirt the exact same way and started selling it on TikTok. But my idea and my shirt was first. But yeah, it's never sunny in Barovia. It's not always raining, but there is a lot of mist. I don't want to explain too much else about Barovia because I want you and your characters to discover it in character. Missy, have you ever played Ravenloft or Curse of Strahd?
No.
Do you know anything about it?
No.
Same question, different person. Juniper.
Nope.
Okay. And is it okay if I just call you Juniper because I'm more used to
Absolutely.
that? Okay. Moon. Do you know anything? Same question. Do you, other than what you got to experience one night, and that wasn't really Barovia. That was.
Yeah. No.
So Moon got to experience one Wednesday night. It's Missy. A different Missy. Sorry.
Oh my god, I didn't do anything.
Doppelganger.
So, the Wednesday night group did the ultimate fuck around and find out.
Oh boy.
And they it was bad. Half of a village that they were in got destroyed. And the rest of it turned on itself, and they now are playing in this thing called the War of Vallaki within the Strahd verse. They are off script. It doesn't matter what other plot points there are. They are resolving all of this before they move on because they destroyed a village. Most nights have destroyed at least 1 or 2 buildings. That's fine. It happens. I understand.
So you're saying we have something to live up to?
I'm giving you one extreme. The other extreme is Thursday night. Thursday night claims they are the best timeline. Okay? They claim that because they have literally saved every single person there is to save so far. Mm-hmm. They've even saved people that the module clearly states dies. They found a way to save them. I think I'm going to start killing people off just because. They have saved everyone that the module says is supposed to die or that the module says could die. There was an NPC that I did allow Strahd to kill on Thursday night because it totally pushed the story further along, and it was awesome. I have taken a lot of the NPCs from Curse of Strahd, and I've expanded on them and given them way more personality than the module ever gave them. Fluffy, what all do you know about Curse of Strahd, Ravenloft?
I know the setting.
Okay.
I've played Curse before, but didn't get the entire way. I've tried to run Curse.
Do you remember?
I don't know because I permanently disassociated myself from that campaign
Okay.
in order to be in this campaign.
Okay. Cool.
But some things will not be surprises, but I also know not to metagame. So,
I mean, as I explained earlier, Duke is on my Sunday night game, and I can't say he's one of my favorite because I, honest to God, love every single character that I have right now playing in Curse of Strahd. I love every single one of those characters, all of them for different reasons. But to brag on Duke, he plays a Tabaxi monk that reminds me a little bit of Garfield.
I never put that together.
You didn't? I'm just waiting for you to bring up lasagna.
It's obvious when you say it, but I never even thought that.
He's only 3
I
foot
just
tall.
need thought bubble.
Yeah, exactly. You need thought bubbles. This Tabaxi monk was given the opportunity to silver his claws. That's a very painful process if you think about it.
oh yeah.
Imagine.
And he was willing to go through with it. Didn't you take a permanent con?
I was gonna lose permanent health
Yeah.
if I failed checks,
Yeah.
and I don't roll well, so it was tense.
You do something like that to where you take your character and you do what you're during March Madness, right? So March Madness in the Strahdverse, a bunch of evil deities had gotten into Strahdverse and purposely plucked people in and out of universes and shoved them in different ones, right? Much like the multiverse, right? That's where I came up with Strahdverse, right? So, were you still on Sunday, or did you get moved from Sunday?
I stayed on Sundays.
Okay. But even though you get to stay in your universe, that deity came in, that evil deity came in and changed things up and messed with you and stuff, right? So at the end of one of the sessions, when they beat the bad guy, the bad guy was this author. And I brought in guest DMs for March Madness to where I didn't even DM it. I let these guest DMs DM a week. And one of them had an author who had a book. And everything she wrote in the book was coming true. So to beat that bad guy, one of the players stole the book and wrote in the book, the author dies, the Tarrasque dies, we all go home. And the book vanished because the story was over. And they all went home. And I messaged each and every single one of them and said, what does home mean to your character? Is home the Strahdverse you came from? Is that the first thing you thought of when you heard home? Or are you going home? Are you thinking of your childhood home? Where are you going? There was a player who plays on Sunday night, Kat. Catastrophe is her name. This is the first campaign she had ever been in. She did a one-shot and then joined my Curse of Strahd campaign. Had never played D&D before that one-shot. So this is like her first real... She knew that her character would just want to go home to her friends and family. So she had to make a brand new character. And she was cosplaying on TikTok that character. And had to give up that character. And stop cosplaying that character because that character just wanted to go home. If you make a decision about your character that is so in character it's amazing, I guarantee you will get at least inspiration. And I do mean at least inspiration. Kind of like Aqua saying she wanted to lose an eye. You know, I mean, I'm all about that story, kids. I'm all about that story. Whereas Cougar's all about that bass. That bass. That bass.
No trouble.
No trouble.
Damn it, now you're gonna have that song stuck in my head for the next week.
You're welcome for the earworm.
You got earworm.
I have enough earworms. Jeez.
Stat creation. You are all heroes.
It's a good song. Fuck you, Zeddy.
It's a good song. It is a good song.
Stat creation. Go ahead and roll up 4d6. Drop the lowest 7 times. And throw out the lowest of the 7.
How many are we throwing?
You roll 4d6, drop the lowest. Write down that number. You're going to do that 7 times.
Drop the lowest.
Those are your stats. Put them wherever you want. I don't care.
So basically, you're only taking the number from 3 of those.
Yes, you're only taking the number from 3 of them.
Okay, that you're combining. Okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I suck at math. That's why I was like, wait.
Same here. Yeah, don't put me in front of a math problem. I know I chose a hobby for math, but you know what?
I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
Clicky clack math rocks make brain go brrrr.
True. It's different with shiny math rocks and a story. So.
Speaking of shiny math rocks, one of my kids sent me Smelly Bones. I know I told you guys about it, but Twitch, I got Smelly Bones. I know it goes in out of character. It goes in the out of context quotes. But Smelly Bones, Cougar. See, it says right there, Smelly Bones. They are scented dice. They smell really good.
I've heard of those.
The smell is supposed to be vampire wine. Now, I don't know if that means it's wine that a vampire drinks or if it's wine made from a vampire. But it smells good no matter what. Guess I do got to roll that D20. Well, Smelly Bones, you are very pretty. You smell wonderful. You will never be rolled again. I did not get a single double digit rolling 5 times on that D20.
No, you just didn't warm it up properly.
You didn't sweet talk it enough.
See,
it's a smelly dice. You gotta let it breathe first.
It's been stuck in a box for a while. You gotta give it time.
Yeah.
You guys might be wrong.
How well would
you might be right?
How well would you perform if we stuck you in a box and shipped you across the country?
I wouldn't.
What's her name?
Irrelevant. knowing you, Seti, I think you'd struggle to get out of the box on your own.
Damn.
Ask Mama Seti.
Thought we're just fired.
Dang. You guys aren't
I
wrong.
have my stats.
I might need to let them breathe. You may not be wrong. That makes sense. I can accept. See, it's not that I need to sweet talk them simply because these are not artisan dice, and I believe that artisan dice, depending upon who the maker was, do need to be talked to the way that maker prefers to be talked to. I have different dice by different makers, and I've learned a lot about that maker just by rolling those dice and talking to them. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But they have been stuck in a box for a while.
They have.
You gotta give them some time.
I'll let
Take
them
them out of
air
the
out.
box, let them
I will let them.
breathe.
They get to breathe tomorrow night. They don't get to breathe tonight. They're
That's
gonna
fine.
they're gonna stay in the box.
gonna
Okay, so
suffocate.
Stay in the
does
box
everyone
and
have
get sunshine on the
stats?
weekend.
I have
I'm still
stats.
working on it because I'm slow, but it's all
I mean,
good.
It's okay.
the longer it's in a box, the more stunned it's going to be.
I've got stats.
Stats.
I've got rhythm.
The last one is the one that I had to throw out, and it was a 6.
Wow.
That was almost going to be a very interesting character.
Yeah, it was.
Almost, not quite.
Does anyone have more
I have
than
decent
one
numbers.
stat
Corbin!
under 10? More than one
Stat
stat
under
under 10. No? Okay, good.
Nope.
But yes, this is why we have HR, Corbin. I haven't found an HR manager yet, but you know.
I have experience. I mean, what?
In HR? One of my mods
Yeah,
does too.
what did I do in the last server?
This is true. I have a mod who's done HR. There's my. I got 2 different players that have done HR. One that's currently doing HR. Yeah. So when
I am
you
no longer doing HR except for my own servers. So.
there you go.
That's CEO shit that you do now.
You see, it's CEO. I don't do HR anymore.
Right.
That's why I have like 5 mods that do the job for me, including you and Dova.
Yep. You're right. You're not the boss I want, Cougar. You're not the boss I want. So
She's
anyway.
the boss you need.
No. No.
No.
Do you all have a rough idea of what you want to play? A rough idea.
Yes, and I have a photo of her.
I have a not so rough idea.
And I mean, if you already know exactly what you want, cool. But Fluffy, you said you don't, right? You were waiting on everybody else.
I have a rough idea, but I'm also forever DM flexible.
Which
So I'm used to be the one.
I'm not
filling
gonna
the
let
holes.
you be. Just so you know, I want you to play what you want to play.
That's what
Well,
I
let's-
said.
I'm gonna say let's see what everyone else has to say first, because if people definitely have a wish list, I don't want to get in the way of that.
And you won't.
Okay.
Just for that, you're going first.
Okay. You want
It's
to
anonymous
do it
vote.
that way?
It's an anonymous vote.
Yep.
Shoot, Fluffy.
Fluffy,
I'm going to play a cleric.
A cleric?
Run it.
Go for
Okay.
it.
A cleric of Sharess.
What race are you wanting to
Excellent.
be, Fluffy? Do you know? Do you know your race yet?
I'm flexible on race.
Okay. Because I do want to discuss races. If anyone has something they want to be specifically, I do want to discuss that. But we'll go through everybody first, and then if it comes.
But
up,
I'm perfectly
while it comes
happy
up.
with. I'm perfectly happy being a human. And most of the people I've played with or run don't like humans because they're boring. So I'm kind of used to being the token human of a party.
Okay. I want to bring that up real quick since you brought up boring humans. Variant human. Okay, so optimizers. I no longer call them min-maxers. I now call them optimizers because somebody who's a great optimizer and her whole family are optimizers. Her and I talked about it, and I asked her to help optimize a character that I'm doing for a one-shot. because I do not know how to optimize. I can make you a nice, cool backstory, and then I will pick feats and stuff like that that fit within that backstory. It may not be optimized. I will purposely take the chef feat, right, just because it's really cool. I love the chef feat. It does not optimize anything. Variant human gets a free feat at first level. I always give my players a free feat at first level. If you choose variant human because you think you're going to be cheating the system and get 2 feats, you're right. You're cheating the system and getting 2 feats. How are you variant? What mutation do you have? Really? Really, Duke? We're going with the third nipple again?
Oh, I was on something different. I wasn't even.
I mean, wait, does that mean I get to choose my second feat? Because I only chose one when I was born. I've got 3 nipples. I'm a variant human.
Same. I mean, what?
A face palm on session 0.
Somebody better add that number.
Got a face palm in session 0. I am so proud of myself.
There you go. No, I'm saying.
Cougar says we're at 4.
Oh, are we really, Cougar? She keeps track usually. She usually does keep track. So, do you have patches of lizard scales? Do you have a tail? Do you have button horns? How are you a variant? What about you does not look human? Because if you want your free feat, I want a variance. I want a Marvel superhero mutation. What is it? Because you get a free feat. So what's that feat give you? If you choose, you were from the Fae, if that whatever that one Fae feat is, that gives you Misty Step. Okay, cool. Does that mean you have button horns because you're from the Fae? Give me the variant that you got with that free feat. Make it make sense. That's part of my rule of cool. Make it make sense. If you describe what you want, if you're playing a monk and you're only 3 feet tall and you want to do some wicked cool backspin off a tombstone after running down along that fence, describe it to me. Draw me the picture in my head. I am very, very visual. I forget what the scale's called. Corby reminds me of it all the time. Corbin does. But there is a scale of, people who are visual versus people who are not. And I am at the extreme end of the scale. The scale talks about, describe an apple. And if somebody who's very low on that scale can't even picture the apple, somebody high on the scale pictures the apple and everything else. I picture the fucking tree that the apple came out of. I mean, which apple are you talking about? Because there's about 5 on the ground. Okay? Are you talking about the yellow ones that are still in the tree, or are you talking about the nice red juicy ones? I fucking picture the tree. That's how good my visualization is. And I love it. I hate it too. Because I can't draw what's in my head. I can't wait until we get to the state of being to where I can have a USB port installed into my skull so I can just plug in and it will download the picture that I see. That's what I want. If you can draw a picture in my mind, the DC for you to pull that off is going to be rather low. Draw me the picture, make it make sense, and we're going to have fun. Dova, who's going next? I think it should be Duke, because he's another forever DM.
Sounds good to me.
I'm going to be a paladin of Torm.
Paladins have struggle hardcore in my Curse of Strahd.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going a different route.
Okay. Okay.
I think I'm going a different
I
route.
think
I don't know.
Duke just laid down the gauntlet and said, "Bring it." I'm
Mm.
looking forward to it.
Sounds like.
Well, so far, you guys have a paladin and a cleric. Duke, do you got a race? Have you picked one yet?
I'm either going. I'm leaning toward orc.
Okay.
SMR is in there as well, so one of those two. But
Okay.
I'm leaning orc.
I don't have a problem with either one. The people of Barovia will.
I play an orange cat. I'm okay.
Yes, you are. You'll get the opposite reaction that your cute little tabaxi has been getting. You will get the opposite reaction. Nobody's going to be running up wanting to pet you, cuddle you, and give you scritches. Okay.
They won't like it if they do.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with either one of those. So whenever you lock that in. Okay, Dovin, who's next?
Well, we went top right to top left. Now we should go mid right. So that would be Miss Jordan.
Alrighty. So I'm kind of I was originally planning cleric, but I can
You
also
can.
try druid as well if you need a second cleric, because the character I have in mind can either be played as a druid or a cleric. So,
If it helps, I'm thinking war cleric on my end.
oh, okay, I'm thinking life cleric. So,
I'm liking the makeup of this party already. Okay, Dova, you or Missy?
Then it would be me. And I'm planning on playing a Tiefling Valor Bard.
Okay.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
Let's talk about this tiefling.
Oh, no.
Okay. I'm not saying no. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying no at all. So far, 2 tieflings have been allowed into Barovia. And when I say Barovia, I'm talking about the kingdom, not the village. That joke will make sense later. Okay? It's kind of like New York and New York, but it's Barovia. Okay? The village, not the kingdom, not the village. One of them is an NPC that that gets introduced later. The other one was a PC. What color tiefling?
Which one will result in less struggle on my end? What I was imagining.
Not red and not purple and not pink.
Not
Those
red,
three-
not purple, not pink.
Those are the 3
So-
colors that will cause you the most problems.
So what I was actually already planning on was more or less human skin tone, just ever so slightly red tinted, but only to the level that we see here on Earth.
Like a
peachy?
Sunburn.
almost like a sunburn, almost.
Yeah,
Not tan, but
I remember.
like a ginger who has way too many freckles.
Oh, it's called. It's basically.
How big are your horns?
Relatively small. They don't stick up too much past the top of my head, and they arc back more than anything.
So, Jinx. Jinx and I had a conversation because Jinx really wanted to play a Dragonborn. And I was like, no.
no.
Why? You know, and we just went down the road of why. And at the very end of the conversation, it was really she just wanted a character who loved dragons. Okay. So why do you want to be a tiefling?
So basically this is a character that I had made before and never got the chance to play, and I just wanted the chance to play her.
That's all I needed to hear. Is she a whore?
I mean, she's based on me, so only a little bit. Oh, she's a whore at heart, but physically pure still.
Okay. So she flirts with everyone.
Naturally flirty personality, yes.
Okay. You said pure at heart, so she flirts a lot, but she's a little trigger shy.
Very much so.
Okay. Does she believe she can seduce anyone?
She does. So far she has not intentionally tried to do so.
Okay. Okay. I was leaning towards yes anyway because you said more of a flesh tone. The biggest problem with tieflings, which no one's brought a satyr yet. It would have been the same problem with a satyr. You're talking about Strahd's domain, and tieflings would be looked at as their ancestry, as demon spawn, as evil from the get-go, just by pure looks. There is a lot of racism and judgment in Barovia, the kingdom. None of you brought that up as triggers, but I want to bring it up now that there is a lot of racism. There is a nod towards genocide that Strahd committed. So I just want you prepared. Duke already knows that, and he's playing the orc. But I guarantee you, his orc is going to get a hell of a lot more attention than your tiefling because you're more almost human skin tone. Although they haven't seen a lot of people who have seen the sun, they know what a person who is tan and stuff looks like because there are the Vistani.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, I will allow it. Do you already have a picture of her? I don't need it right now. I'm just asking.
I've got a couple of references, so basically yes.
Okay. Okay, Missy, what do you want to play?
Tiefling bard. I created.
We'll be sisters. We'll be sisters.
We could. I chose a tiefling bard. She is from the College of Eloquence. She has white hair. She has very light lilac skin. So she almost looks, I don't know, somewhat frostbitten, kinda. She's real light purple. Red eyes. She has like elf ears. And she has like gems hanging off of her ears. She also has like makeup that comes down, kind of like a scar over her eyes, kind of not. I have a photo of her to show. Her horns are not huge, but they do kind of like Dova said. They kind of go back more. They kind of sway. They barely pass top of her head, and they just kind of go back, and they have like gems hanging off the ends.
Fancy.
What college were you gonna?
She has earrings.
Dova, what college?
Eloquent. Oh, Valor.
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 Mm-hmm.
I'm from Eloquence.
Why, Missy?
So I am the bardiest bard.
So two
be
bard.
Careful. There is a. Well, Jamie, what is it with you? What is it with you, damn Discord HR people? Thinking you're the bardiest bards.
That's the point of being a bard. Is that I don't know. It's the fact that when it comes to them, hold on, let me pull it back up again. I had it pulled up. I like being able to use charisma. I like being able to sweet talk my way in and out of things. Flirting is also obviously very fun. In the words of another DM, where it's like, just tell me the reason why I want to be a bard. I want to fuck the dragon, okay, Dad?
I mean,
There's another.
All I'm hearing is we're going to have twice as many chances to seduce Strahd.
To seduce Strahd. You'll have double the bards. And we could be sisters. We could be like, sisters from another mister. We went our separate ways to go to different colleges, but now like we've re-met up on this this journey for
And there's two clerics for when they fuck it all up.
Right, and there's 2 clerics. So you're good. They're there to save our ass. I claim Jordan. Moon.
Hey.
It's fun.
That's fine. I want Fluffy anyways.
She can save my ass. I like being the master of the silver tongue, and that's kind of the fun part about being a bard. Also, I like being entertainment. So when you're a bard, you play the lute or you play different instruments and you sing and you dance and you are the distraction sometimes.
And to answer you, Juniper, look up who Sharess is.
In the words of Timon and Pumbaa, what am I supposed to do? Dress and drag and do the hula? I absolutely do.
Oh my god, that just went straight to my head.
And I do have her photo.
Oh, I love this.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Did you post it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Did they post it to the general chat or in here?
Either. I prefer general chat because I never open up the voice chat during stream.
Okay.
You should probably be thankful for that.
Yes.
And that is...
Mommy? Sorry.
Emrys
Mommy? Sorry.
Glimmerfall.
Mommy? Sorry.
And she is mommy.
Oh, she's
Emrys
adorable.
Glimmerfall.
Took me a little while to get told that
I love her.
Dova was louder than everyone else.
Huh, it would have been nice if y'all had said something.
Right?
Oh, Moon, that's such a cinnamon roll. I like that.
I know.
Isn't she adorable?
I love her so much.
Thank God I get to play Strahd and all the other NPCs. Yes, Missy, you can be that tiefling.
Submitted that Dova was like, I'm gonna be a tiefling bard. I was like, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it.
You have
Moon,
no idea how
an
badly I want to
adorable
ask. I want to ask to switch to Rogue Knight now, but I'm gonna hold to what I said.
Well, my next question was going to be, because we have 2 bards, because we have 2 clerics, and we have a paladin, does anybody really want to change what they are? Really want to? Not because they think the group needs something, but because they don't want to be the same as somebody else.
Cougar, just because I played that rogue on Saturday that got you all hot and bothered.
Okay. Duke, are you going to stay orc? Or are you going to go Asmar?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm going to go.
And that's full-blooded, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that greenskin?
Be determined. I was thinking more of a grayish.
Grayish? Okay, that's fine. Okay. Moon, what race was that? Was that an elf? Was that a
Halfling.
a halfling? Okay.
Yeah, she's short and I love her.
She's just a little one.
Yeah, she is.
Corbin, dress and dragon, do the hula.
So I've got a close enough to get the point across for Elan. Slightly lighter skin tone and shorter horns.
Okay. Slightly lighter skin tone works, but yeah, that looks like a person that's been out in the sun. And yeah, Missy, that almost looks frostbit.
Very nice.
Fluffy.
She's not like dark purple, but she's also not like super light purple either. It's kind of a mix in the middle.
Any idea on a race, Fluffy?
I said variant human. I
Oh,
just need to
okay.
figure out how she's variant.
Okay.
How
I
they
didn't
vary.
know if you. I didn't
I
know
was
if you were
thinking.
serious.
My first thought was green skin like Elphaba, but
The
as a
Rainbow
human.
Party. I'm all for it.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna. Strahd and I are gonna
But
have a
I will.
long talk over this one.
I can take suggestions for how I vary.
Okay.
That, in fact,
Let's
let's
work on
involve the chat.
it. Okay, let's do it.
Alpha,
And
here I come.
it's 8:08, so
Oh,
let's take our
no.
break at 8.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I will be
Sounds
turning
good.
off the cameras, turning off the microphones. You don't have to do anything, players. I got it. And Twitch, you know the role. We'll be back. I'll be back in 8 minutes. They might be back in 8 minutes. Hydrate. Do whatever you got to do. And we'll see you in 8 minutes.
Okay.
And we're back. We were just discussing what we main. Now I'm a little upset that I let Missy be the Tiefling Bard, because that's what she mains. I should have made her
Always.
be something else. But I already said I want Fluffy to be what he wants to be, so it wouldn't be fair for me to force you to be something else if I want him to be what he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
I understand wanting to push someone out of their comfort zone and be like, I want you to do something else, just see what you do with it. But there will be other games. And I've always said before that I'm open to being anything else. It's just what I resonate with the most is a bard, because I'm a sarcastic asshole, and bards are usually flirtatious, sarcastic assholes. So I kind of
honestly, same. That's why I love. Well, that and the music connection, but.
And apparently I'm a natural flirt, and I never realized it. People tell me all the time, though.
I don't know if it's because I always DM that I honestly, I mean, yes, somebody asked me one day within the last week or two, you know, my favorite class, and I was like, what's the race? They're like, no, what's your favorite class? I was like, yeah, what race?
What race?
I have favorite
Depends.
classes for favorite races, or you could tell me the class you want me to choose, and then I'll tell you what race I want to be.
Yeah.
You know, like when it comes to Paladin, okay, Paladin, I either want my Minotaur Paladin or I want my Orc Paladin. Okay, those are what I love. I've played both.
I would go Orc.
Characters. If we go Rogue, then I'm probably going to be half elf. If we go Monk, I really like Halfling Monk. I have my Halfling Monk Poe right there.
Love it.
Poe, as in his name is Poe Blackfoot. Poe is the name of a famous kung fu master. Who's a panda.
I knew it!
Yeah. I was like,
The minute you said Poe, I was like, the panda bear? Well, you said he's a panda. I was like, there it is!
That's my halfling, is Poe. If
He's a panda?
if we
I almost choked on fish.
if you go
Did you
with
say
Ranger, I love playing Knoll Rangers. Knoll the dog people.
I bought fish and chips.
Base bomb number 6.
And that's basically, I mean, otherwise I would choose something else. But we're all back. It's been 11 minutes. We can go ahead and get back into this. Do you guys have any idea of your names yet?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Duke walked away.
Duke has disappeared.
Moon, you said you do have a name.
Yes.
What's your character's name?
Solana.
Spell it, please.
Solana.
Solana.
Damn, it feels like a spelling bee.
Sorry, Solana.
Oh, that's all good. Solana, yeah.
And you
Solana.
use it in a sentence.
Okay.
You can use
Right.
a definition.
Solana is very short. No.
Missy,
That's fair.
you said you do have a name?
Yeah.
You got a mouthful of food. Juniper, you have a name?
I have French fry.
Yes.
What's your character's name?
Elan. E-L-A-N.
E-L-A-N. Elan.
Who was Solana? I'm sorry.
I'm good.
Solana is Moon.
Yep. My little
Mine is
halfling.
Emrys Glimmerfall.
Yes.
Awesome.
Emerus.
Emrys.
E-M.
M-R-Y-S.
S. Moonfall?
Glimmerfall.
Glimmerfall.
G-L-I-M-M-E-R.
I know how to spell glimmer. Glimmerfall.
Just making sure.
Also, Solana's last name is Valor. by the way.
Yeah. How do you spell that?
V. Okay, hold up. I even gotta check my own spelling.
Okay.
Give me a second, because I
Can
said
you
it.
give me the definition?
No, I
Can you use
cannot.
it in a sentence?
You said it in a sentence.
I'm like, no, I cannot. I'm pretty sure it's Velore.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Solana Valor.
It
Okay.
is. Ha! I was right.
Ah,
Elan, are you two going to be sisters?
I'm down.
I'm down. Yep, we're
Yeah,
sisters.
yeah, we're sisters.
Long lost, somewhat recently reunited.
Okay. Do you have a last name?
Nope.
Okay. Fluffy, do you have a name yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Piotr. Piotr.
P-I what?
Piotr. It's pronounced Peter or Piotr.
Okay. Piotr. Pete.
Last name Shostakovich.
Oh my God, why are you doing this to me?
Because you made me pick a name, bitch.
Spell it, motherfucker.
Good luck.
Shostakovich. He's Russian.
Wait, why wouldn't you do the C with the little squiggly underneath it?
Why not?
At the special character setting.
Right? I'm
It
pretty
makes
sure.
it more accurate.
Shostakovich.
Yes.
Say that five
Like-
times
And
fast.
the
Like-
C
like-
has a little squiggle under it.
Like the Russian composer.
That's what I was going.
Why
I
you
see
do
what you
this to
did
me? Because you made me pick a name, bitch. Melon motherfucker.
That should be in the quotes because you made me pick a name.
I got it, I'm on it.
Good, yay.
Mr. Duke, do you have a name yet?
Yes. As. EAZ, motherfucker.
EAZ?
D. D-A-Z.
Oh, B-A-Z. Baz
D is in
motherfucker.
Danny Duke. Daz, yeah.
Oh, Daz.
Daz, my
Daz.
name.
Daz.
That's my name.
Daz.
That's my
God.
name.
That's my name.
Daz, my
Why
name.
did
Don't
I
wear it
not
out.
see that coming?
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Why did I not see it coming? You guys got to understand. His monk, his tabaxi monk, his name is Kurz. From the Order of Whisk.
Oh. I get it.
Whiskers.
Mm-hmm.
He has a little friend that he named G. Willie. So together they're G. Willie Curse.
But yeah. Okay, that's slap comedy. That is slapstick comedy.
Yeah, it's right there at the edge that I'm okay, fine. It's names, okay, fine.
He doesn't know that.
How about
He doesn't
naming
know
your?
that.
He has no
Oh.
clue they're funny. He doesn't think he's funny at all.
He doesn't. He does not think he's funny.
Okay, Seti, I want you to hear me out real quick as a character idea. A human fighter, as bare bones basic as you can get, named Norm Ullman.
I get
Norm
it.
Ullman, normal man.
Yeah. Is that what you want to change to?
No, God, no.
Okay.
That's boring.
It's boring. Okay.
Because if I was going to do that, I'd intentionally do everything I could to make it lackluster in every way.
Yeah, just totally
Like tens
include-
across the board.
Yep, make them very average. Duke,
Mediocre
does Daz
white
have a
man
last
energy.
name?
Well, he did.
White man
He does not right now. That'll be explained to you in backstory.
Right on. Duke brought it up. Backstory. I don't expect any of you to have one right here and right now. I would like some within the next 2 weeks. Something. Give me a little bit of something. Right?
You have a maximum character limit.
7.
That's a great question.
Not minimum, maximum.
Let me answer that by telling you that my best friend allowed me to be a vampire in one of his games. He plays superhero. He runs superhero games, and I got to be his.
Was it high stakes?
No, it was man, I
Sorry.
fell for it. I fucking fell for it. Okay.
This is gonna be fun.
You're too used to it coming
Sounds like a
from
real
Duke
heartbreaker of a
that I'm gonna
campaign.
get some stealth ones in.
Yeah, that was a good one. That one slipped right under the radar. Anyway, I gave him a 13-page backstory.
Jesus Christ.
So, no, there's no limit. You make it too long, I probably won't have it read by the next game. But there's no limit. You don't have to try to outdo yourself. You don't have to try to outdo me either.
I ain't aiming for a record. Just I already have an idea, and I want to actually get it written down.
Okay, cool.
And it's gonna probably end up being wordy.
Okay. Let's go back to my list here and see what else I'm supposed to talk about.
I heard the AOL, you've got mail.
Yeah.
That's me.
I love that.
You got mail.
You got mail.
I
Okay,
used to have
here's some
AOL.
expectations.
So I heard that you've got mail, and I'm like, oh my god, throwback.
Expectations. Be respectful. Communicate. Bring characters who want to participate in the adventure and work within a party. We don't need any lone wolves. And it doesn't sound like we have any. Doesn't look like we have any at all.
Question before you get too far. As part of backstory, do you want, as part of that, how we got to Barovia?
No. If you really want to be involved in how you got to Barovia, I'd like you to work with me on it. Because otherwise, I would like to figure out why the fuck Strahd picked you 5.
Fucking beats me, man.
Right?
He picked me up
I
at a
just
bar.
showed up, okay.
We were the closest 5 at hand.
Either that or we were the last option.
He found us passed out in an alley and went, "You bitches, you're coming with me." And we all just kind of went, "Oh shit, he's important. We better do what he says."
Yeah, that's why when right before break I was like, well, Strahd and I are gonna have to talk about this one. It's so eclectic that I'm looking forward to it. I wanna explore this story. I wanna know why. I mean, all the other games, I know why. I know why those people are there. I don't know why you guys are there yet. I didn't even meet you guys until tonight. Your characters. So I want to know more. I'm typecasting a couple of them, and I don't want to. Daz has already gotten typecasted, and I know he's not going to be a typecast. I know that. I know that Duke's gonna pull some stuff under the radar that I'm not gonna expect. The clerics. I mean, that's one reason why I asked you two playing, tiefling bards. Are you the stereotypical tiefling bard? So I want to get to know you guys. I really do. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Did you really want to be involved in why you're there, Daz, or are you leaving it up to me?
I just needed to know if I needed to think about it because I had not yet. That was on my to-do list. I got backstory, but I was first I had to think about how I got there. I just needed to know if I had to do that again.
Nope.
I'm happy to give you the reins of that.
Now, if you, in your backstory, if you want to know about anything that's within the realm or something, um, the only one of you that I would really wouldn't have a problem with knowing stuff in your backstory would be Peter, just because you as Fluffy know a little bit. So if Peter had heard something of Ravenloft or
Mm-hmm.
or of Strahd, or if he'd heard something, cool, he'd heard something. I'm not worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
If Daz had, okay, cool, you've heard of it, or somebody was taken away, whatever the case may be. The other three of you, since you don't really know anything about it, I would rather you don't really know about it. No, your character doesn't even really know about it. Okay, let's see. What else have we got on this pretty little list? Okay. Because of how many people were in the campaign, people will get talked over at one point or another. Um, I just want to make sure we're kind of sharing screen time, stuff like that. I want to make sure that, try to keep interruptions to a minimum. If you are somebody who continually interrupts people, I'll talk to you afterwards. If I talk during, it'll be, I might be like, hey Fluffy, do you mind letting Dova talk for a little while, please? Hey Fluffy, let's find out what Dova wants. Or I won't even say Fluffy, I'll just be like, Dova, what do you think? Only I'll ask your character. I'll be like, Alon, what are you doing? But I honestly don't think any of you, if you have a question or something, please raise your hand. Please do. If you want to speak, if your character wants to say something during or do something during a monologue of an NPC or a monologue of me or a PC, just raise your hand so that we know that you want to say something. Okay? Yes, sir.
I do. I have a statement question. How much is Discord's natural lag factored into perception of people interrupting one another? Because I'm pathologically terrified of that. Like, I hate stepping on other people's toes, especially in a situation like this where I really love to see everybody have their moments, including myself, to be honest. But I've also learned that sometimes Discord lag forces that issue, even if people aren't intentionally trying to do it.
Cougar, Corby, have you guys seen it? Hey, it's Emergency Cheese.
Oh.
I know who that is. Have you guys seen any of that lag that Fluffy's talking about? Have you seen any of the lag to where people are talking over each other because of Discord itself? How we're a few seconds or a second behind you? I know we talked over.
I'm talking more from my room to Discord, per se.
Okay, Cougar
not necessarily
really
from Discord to the.
Okay, the only one I notice who has some right now is Duke. When Duke talks,
I'll be right back.
I see his mouth move and then I hear him. So he is the only one right now that I'm seeing.
Okay.
And I have a tendency to let others speak. And I'll wait my turn. I'm very happy to do that. Sometimes I will jump in. Sometimes I will jump in and somebody else is still talking and I'll just stop and let you keep going. So because I've done onlines before.
camera off has been a problem to where if somebody doesn't have their camera on, it's really hard for us to tell when they wanted to talk and stuff like that. It's one reason why I asked if there is a camera. But, you know, one thing, if you start getting used to the body language, like if you'll notice when Duke is getting ready to talk, he kind of leans forward.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, as we get to know each other better, we'll kind of get to know each other's body language. Usually if I like lean into my microphone. If I'm not planning on talking, you're going to see me do this.
Okay.
And I'll just sit here and wait. Yes, raising hands. We were talking about that. Thank you, Corbin. Let's see. What else do we got over here? All actions have consequences. Good, bad. Your choices matter. I talked about how that Wednesday night group is paying for their consequences. It happened actually because of some communication problems too. One of the players had some really bad ADHD that came out by him talking above table but not saying it was above table. While being confronted by Lord von Zarovich, Strahd himself, he made the comment of, "I shoot magic missile at him." He was joking. I didn't know that. It didn't sound like he was joking. It didn't sound like it was above table. It seemed like it was in character because his character's somewhat chaotic. So Strahd attacked. Another time he made the comment of, "I want to punch the Burgermeister." He thought he was muted. He wasn't muted. So he punched the Burgermeister. There's another player who also does similar things like that didn't notice. All I ask is, if you have a tendency to say above table stuff like that, either use a different voice, say above table before you say it, or keep yourself muted if you have to make comments left and right. Because I won't notice that was above table. I've realized over the years I struggle understanding intent. I struggle understanding, you know, if I can't see your face, if I can't like listen to the inflections, I'm really bad in text and threads, that when somebody says something, I tend to take the thing that they said literal. It's my tism. And unfortunately you get to deal with it too. So let me know if you're above table, because I would hate for something to go awry when it was supposed to be wheat. No? Okay. I tried. Yes, sir.
Above table equals out of character, right? I just want to
Yes,
make
sir.
sure I'm
Yes, sir.
clear in the
Okay,
meaning.
gotcha.
Thank you, Cougar. I appreciate you saying wow. You always know how to make me feel special, Cougar. Short bus special. Yep, brown chicken, brown cow. Not to be confused with the black chicken, black cow. Black chicken. There are black chickens. Okay.
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
Yeah, there are.
They're all
Zombie
fact
chicken.
black chicken.
they're pretty cool.
There are zombie chickens.
There are zombie chickens. Seriously? Is there zombie chickens?
Seriously. Yeah.
Okay.
They're clucking dead.
Check them out. No, for real though, there is such a thing as a zombie chicken.
I know there's a zombie wasps.
Oh, those are terrifying. Do not research those if you do not want to have nightmares.
Right?
They're cool, but scary.
Um, sorry, I just read what Emergency Cheese did. So anyway,
Oh god.
the last thing I want to bring up is absences. They happen. They occur. Life happens. Emergencies happen. Um, Mr. Duke works for the Department of Transportation, and during the winter, if a snowstorm is coming, that dude may be working for like 23 days straight. And that's not even an exaggeration, is it?
Oh, if only it was.
Yeah. So he might not be able to play. Um, all I ask is, um, I understand emergencies happen. Please let me know more than the day before, if you can. If you get sick, I get it. You got sick. You have laryngitis. You can't sit at the computer. Whatever the case may be, you got to be on the toilet, and you don't feel like playing on your phone at the toilet. I get it. And not all of us have that comfort level. Okay?
It's an option.
It is always an option.
It's always an option. We don't judge.
No, we
There's no
don't.
judgment here.
I mean, you can blur your black background so that I don't know that's the bathroom. Okay, whatever. Point
Listen,
is,
when you
initiative.
have to blow one out, just mute. That's all we ask. I don't need to hear that. Just mute.
all I
Be
all I
respectful.
ask besides please mute is just let me know. Let me know you're going to be absent, because as you get more and more involved in the campaign, NPCs are going to start building relationships with you, and if we leave off with with Elan and Emerus both in a triangle situation with somebody, and all of a sudden Elan can't be there, and that was where we left off. Well, clearly I'm not going to start with the triangle, but am I even going to be able to do anything with the triangle? Or if you're like, hey, I'm going to be an hour late. Okay, cool. We won't start with the triangle situation. We'll start with other things that are happening. If Solana has fallen in love with a certain character who's also vertically challenged, who's an NPC, not to give too many spoilers, and that romance is budding, and it is the night before a festival, and all of a sudden at the last minute, Moon's like, oh yeah, I forgot I have to wash my dog's hair. I'm like, really? For real? I mean, your character, we planned this. Okay, how much do I have? I have 30 freaking minutes to figure out what I'm going to do instead of the hour and a half long romance scene that was going to happen between I know I picked two scenes that were romance, but I don't want to give away anything that actually can and has happened. Just please respect, not just mine, but each other. You could have been involved in a conversation with somebody, and if you call in, that conversation won't be able to finish that night. So, that's all I got. That's all I got. What about you guys? Anything you expect from me, want from me, need from me? I am going to
Check
put
for $1 million would be great.
Okay, I'll work on that for you. I'm going to go ahead and put my Cash App, my Venmo, and my PayPal. I'll put that in the chat so that you can pay whichever way you want. I don't care which of those three. Doesn't matter to me. And the pay talk's out of the way. I hate that talk. Again, do you guys have anything for me? Nothing?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of.
Why do I have 11 messages? It's crazy. Okay.
You're popular.
I'm trying to seduce you.
I'm gonna be
Question for both.
popular.
You're the dungeon daddy. Of course you're popular.
Which god or goddess do you serve?
Lathander.
Thander?
I think I'm pronouncing that. I think I'm pronouncing that right. But to be fair, I pronounced Saluna wrong for the longest time.
Mhm.
So yeah, I tried.
Cougar, I adore you, but I don't care if CR is on.
Mm.
That's fine.
I just got that notification too.
Hurry up, CR
I
is
don't
on.
give a fuck.
Oh, I'm a punk? Yeah. You're getting ready to leave me to go watch those famous people that are sellouts. When you can
No,
watch your
I'm all good.
friends. So I need just a few seconds so I can post that, and then you guys want to do some roleplay?
Sure.
Sure.
I
Okay.
may or may not have cosplay stuff in my Amazon cart.
Ooh.
Same here,
Or
actually.
I may or may not be ordering sometime this week, so it could be here by next Tuesday.
Oh,
Not
hell yeah.
in 2 Tuesdays.
I am going to
I've
put
got
them in the
ideas.
announcement chat.
I don't know why that's totally slipped my mind. Hmm. Oh hell yeah! But I have plan on doing makeup and all kinds of stuff eventually. But no, I cannot wear a wig because wigs are uncomfortable.
I have worn wigs. The only complaint I have about wigs is they do get hot. But
Yeah.
because
For me,
I've only worn one once when I went to my when I cosplayed as Queen Bee from Hello Boss.
ooh, I cosplayed Keyleth this year, and that was my first time wearing a wig. And the wig headache they warn you about is true.
Okay, that
It does.
I appreciate all the commitment. Best I'm going to be able to do is an accent.
Fair enough.
I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to do any kind of cosplay.
you don't have to.
You got mail.
I know,
Nobody
and I'm
has.
not
Did I
gonna.
literally just hear AOL's mail message?
Where have you been? That's like the fourth time.
That is Mr. Duke. He is he's an old man.
I'm an
He
old
likes
man.
he likes retro
He
things.
does.
Put it that way.
I'm an old man too, and even I have a Gmail account.
I'm not old. I'm mid-century modern.
Daz, where are you from?
I don't know that yet.
Do you know what
Faerun.
world? Okay, Faerun.
It's yeah,
Okay.
I'm in Faerun somewhere.
Solana?
Probably Sword.
Sword Coast. Okay.
I haven't quite decided yet.
Do you know what world? Is it a world of your own making? Is it a world of somebody else's making? Is it a TSR world?
Honestly, I didn't get that far. I might have to actually think on that one.
Okay, that's fine.
But probably, I didn't you mention Sword Coast or something?
Yep, Sword Coast is Faerun.
Yeah, I'm kind of
You mentioned
thinking.
Lathander, so I assumed Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, I assumed
Yeah,
Forgotten
something
Realms
like that.
also.
Yeah, yeah. Then that's what we're going with because my brain had no other ideas. So
Okay.
yay.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be the Sword Coast. It could be Faerun, anywhere in Faerun.
Need to do my research.
That's fine. Peter, I know you said Russia, but seriously, where are you from?
Forgotten Realms, to
Okay.
be specific area to be determined.
Okay. Imris, you ran away. Ilan, where are you from?
To be determined. Gonna work that out with Emrys.
Okay. When you say to be determined, do you, Emerus, ma'am, do
What?
you have an idea
What?
of where you want to be from? I know you guys got to work it out between the two of you, but
Not at the moment.
Want to
I
keep it
will
bog standard
talk.
and just say Faerun then?
Faerun's
Specific
fine.
area, we'll decide later.
That's fine.
Perfect.
that was me ducking for cover as my dog came running down the hallway.
What kind of dog do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Mastiff Shepherd mix.
Ooh. I'm a dog groomer. I have to ask what kind of cat or dog you have.
Yep. Yeah, his name is Tank, and he is one.
He's the bestest boy.
Oh.
Yep. Okay.
John Brigham. Karate Poo.
I get some.
You're Venmo. I should have put D&D, Dixon Dungeons or something. Here's $20 for Dixon Dungeons.
Oh my.
Dungeons and Daddies.
Oh my god.
Keep going.
Hold up here. Damn.
Fluffy and Duke, if y'all play any other games at all, if y'all want to come join, I do have another server that SETI is in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're welcome to come hang out. Just a general gaming server. I always
Okay.
try to
We're all
get
chill
friends to come
here.
hang out and join.
What is it?
It is called Dumpster Fire Gaming.
That sounds awesome.
I like
Yeah.
the name.
You're chaos.
We have a lot of fun. It's
Send
just
me an
it's just general gaming. It's just to hang out, bullshit. Just that's it.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Send me an invite, please.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Join the cold.
Same.
It's great. You're gonna love it there.
One of us. One of us.
SETI is our dungeon daddy of
I like the
Dumpster Fire.
I like to call him Strahd Daddy SETI.
He is a Strahd daddy. I made him the first mod of the server because I was like, I need someone who has at least half of a sane mind that I don't have. So I was like, SETI, would you do the honor of being my first mod of my server that at the time was like half dead, and now it's like 112 people strong, and I had
Half
just
dead.
started it.
Baby, I was the first member after you. I was like, when you said, "Will you be a mod?" I was like, "Of who?" Nobody's here.
Of this.
You're like, of this kingdom. I was like,
13 people later.
I know. What was it like? It was less than 3 days. Boom, 100 people.
Within 2 days, it was at 64 people, and then I started inviting people from the dog groomer societies that I'm a part of, and then it jumped from 62 up to 90, and then it went from 90 to 113, 112. That's where we're sitting now. And let me tell you that Voldemort was upset. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. Mother Nerd is already in it.
Okay.
There's Duke.
Don't need a map, but do you two, Elan, Emerus?
Yes.
Do you two? I know you were siblings, but do you run together now that you've been reunited, or is it kind of like reunited and?
It feels so nice.
I was waiting for it.
I was thinking more a case of reuniting, like at the very, like right before it, where it's like we just met, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're in Barovia, or however that goes down.
Okay.
My cat is
Like-
meowing.
It's like still relatively recent. We've lived most of our lives apart, but we just finally found each other recently.
Okay. That work for you, Missy?
Yeah, works for me. That was kind of my thought, was I think we ran into each other like the first time, the first day of it.
like right
was my
before it
thought.
happened, and then boom.
Yeah, like we all just
Okay.
kind of showed up to one spot, and I was like, oh my god, Alon.
Okay. Where do you guys end up meeting up at? Where do you? Is it in a tavern? Is it
In the tavern. Let's go tavern.
okay?
We literally bump into each other in the tavern. She was leaving as I was entering. It's just like, hey, wait a minute, you look familiar.
Okay. Um, what was the name of that tavern?
Stagger
Listen to
in.
that, Alon.
What'd you say, Duke? What was it?
The stagger in.
Stagger in.
Nice.
That's a good one. Stagger in. I like that one. The stagger in. That's a good one.
That works for me.
Um, so, Imrus, when you were leaving the stagger in, was it because you couldn't find anyone to pay you to play? Was it that there was nobody interesting in there? Why were you leaving already? The night's still young.
I had gone in to look for somewhere to play, and they already had a bard that already worked for them, and so they were looking for somebody else. So I stayed for a drink, and then I decided to move on with my travels, and that's when I happened to run into Alon.
Elon, are you that bard that already worked there?
Nope.
Okay.
I was just stumbling in off after a long day on the road.
Okay. Um,
It's in between jobs.
the Stagger Inn is in an area with along the Sword Coast that there isn't. It's definitely a traveler's village that not many people live there as much as people visit there. It is a coastal town. There is constantly ships coming in and out, and wagon loads going through, and but it's not even really a large village. Um, the village is called Dunfall, and the Stagger Inn is probably the only thing on the map. It's what Dunfall is actually known for. They're not even really known for their port. They're known for the Stagger Inn. So as you're leaving, Emrys, Elan, you're coming in.
Mm.
Besides fate, how do you two know that you're sisters? What is it about you that you just immediately recognize as being your sister?
Who says it's immediate?
Okay.
It's not very often you run into fellow tiefling bards.
Yeah, no, there's not very many of us.
Mm-mm.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it's odd. I think I would have, heard about you before. Where are you from? Insert village name here, I guess.
Yeah, for now. Insert temp name.
Wait. I'm from temp name.
Oh my god, wait, so am I.
Wait, hold up. What's your name?
Emrys. Emrys Glimmerfall.
Glimmer. Did you have a younger sister disappear when you were 6?
I did. I haven't seen her for so long. How did you know?
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Elan, of a last name that I did not remember until now.
Could it also be Glimmerfall?
Most likely it does ring a bell. However, I don't know, we'll figure out ages later. 2 years younger than you.
That's fine.
And
usually
I got
just skip
kidnapped
on
from
my age.
my home when I was 4.
Whatever happened to you?
I got kidnapped by the bandits. I got sold into slavery, used as a plaything for the last decade, fought my way out, led an army of children in a daring escape across a very hostile forest, keeping their spirits up with song and using a pointy stick to defend them. Got them to an orphanage and then decided that I was having a lot of fun stabbing things and singing and turned that into a living.
Wow. Well, thinking back to when we were children, you were always a very rambunctious little one. So, it fits. Such a small world, though. It's amazing to find you again.
I
I haven't seen Ma and Pa for a while.
I had yet to run into anyone who even knew where the village was. I've been wandering the continent trying to find home. Well, I found a piece of it at least.
That's true.
So, I saw you were leaving. You want to turn right around and have a drink on me?
Well, yeah, why not? Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Peter. Where are you at right now?
In a bar somewhere, drinking.
How long you been there?
Lost track of time. Lost in thought.
Who's your god?
Shiraz.
Shiraz. Are you honoring Shiraz?
She is the goddess of hedonism and sensual fulfillment. So, at the moment, even though I'm not particularly enjoying myself, I feel I am.
You said you're in a tavern?
I.
Very seedy one. It's in a bad part of town. What brought you here?
Loneliness. I lost my bride of 7 months, Svetlana.
How'd you lose her?
And I still haven't quite recovered. See, that's just it. We were walking at night together through woods. And we walked into somewhere where there was fog. Fog mist, something like that. And then the next thing I knew, she was gone. I looked for days. Could not find a body.
Her name was Svetlana?
Svetlana, yes. And I don't, like I said, I found no body. I don't know where she could have gone. I feel like I've been left.
How long ago was that?
About a month. It's hard to understand. We've not been married even a year yet. I want to think something supernatural happened, but there's no trace. There was no trace.
What did she look like? What color hair did she have?
Deep red. Deep red.
Try not to read my mind too much.
She was beautiful. The kind of robust body that could survive a famine. And she had the beautiful singing voice. Although I still worship Ceres, she was very, very close. I'd settled down a lot when I met her. Now I'm too far in grief to even consider going back to how I used to be. So I honor Ceres in drink, if not in other forms of pleasure seeking.
Solana. Where are you at?
I feel like we might have been at a market, either getting ingredients to probably make a hearty meal and
For?
for her family. She comes from a bigger family, and she helps take care of them because her mother isn't capable. Well, she's capable, but right now she's not doing her best.
Are you oldest or just
Yes.
middle? Okay.
Mhm.
How many siblings?
She's got 5 siblings. She's got 2 younger brothers, and then she's got 3 younger sisters.
Okay. And dad?
He's not, he's there, but he travels more than he is present in our lives. He chose his life, or he basically chose his job over his own family. So it's up to me to make sure that there's the kids are taken care of, siblings, and mom has her medicine so that she can hopefully make a full recovery at some point.
So what are you getting in the market?
Probably vegetables, probably more hearty vegetables, probably a couple potatoes, maybe some carrots. You might go visit a butcher and maybe get some meat if she can afford it. She's not big on eating meat. She's more of she enjoys fruits, vegetables more than she does meat, but she wants to make sure that her siblings and mother are well taken care of, so she makes sure that there's extra protein in there.
You come to the market every day, don't you? You live in
Yeah.
this little village that has this market.
One of her favorites. She makes food with whatever seasonal. She's got herself a favorite bakery. I'm pretty sure that the baker knows her on a name basis because she comes in so often. Um, Probably even sets aside some sweets or some bread that's just left over at the end of the day. Something that her siblings can look forward to and alongside herself.
Why doesn't your family live in the grove with the rest of the halflings? Why did you move into the village, into this human and elf village?
It was more for our father's job. He travels for his work, so he's kind of more of a for hire. So he travels for work, even leaves us, but to make sure that there's still some money on the table and stuff that we can, make ends meet and be comfortable. So we probably moved when I was about, I don't know, middle age, probably early teens for better opportunities, more jobs.
As you walk into the market, you see Gertruda, the elderly human baker, and standing at her stall. Solana, Solana, how are you doing, little one?
I'm doing well, and you? How's the family?
Oh, they're doing good. They're doing good. Um, do you need your regular order of bread?
Yes, please. I'd appreciate it.
That's right. She reaches over. She just picks up a basket, and hands you the basket. She goes, "There you go, little one. And tell your
Thank
mother
you.
that I said hi, and I hope she feels better. Is she getting better?"
She's getting stronger every day, so I hope she'll make a full recovery soon.
I made sure when I baked the the oat one that I used really hearty oats for her so that she can get some good fiber and bran. It will help
I'm
her.
sure she'll appreciate it.
Good,
Thank
good.
you.
You're welcome, Solana. And don't forget to squeeze the cheeks of your little brother, okay? And tell him
That I
Gertrude to
can
say
do.
hello. Thank you, Solana.
Will do.
Daz, where you at?
I am at the Temple of Torm, just finishing up uh, my reading lessons from my friend Jacob, getting ready to go into worship.
How long you been at that temple?
Oh, it's only been 3 months.
What do you hope to do? You're an orc paladin of Torm. What do you hope to do?
It just right now I just need to know. I need to understand. Um, I need to know if the choices I made are worth all the loss that I've given up, I've sacrificed to follow this path. Uh, Giving up family, giving up clan, giving up the color from my skin, just just because of something I saw. And I need to know if that is true. I need to know if that is what is truly what the world is about.
Do you have any tribal markings from before that you keep covered?
No, that I did. They've been seared off. There's nothing on me that defines who I was before.
What's the majority of the warriors in your order? What are they? Are you
What
the
is the
only orc?
majority of it where I'm at now? Yes, I am. I am the only orc.
Most of them human, a couple elves.
Yes, I mean there's a maybe a halfling or two around, or but the majority's human.
Any dwarves?
No,
How do your brethren treat you, being the only orc?
oh, everyone at the temple has been super. They welcoming, um, well, to me. It puts me on my heels because that's not something that I have ever been exposed to.
Good, good. After morning prayers, what are you doing? What's the routine?
Oh, out to the yard, just to exercise, to catch a glint of just the sun gleaning off my well-worn armor. Um, just to stretch my muscles out. Go through just some like riding stances, things like that, um, and just after that, I would just go out and just reflect a little bit underneath the shade tree in the corner of the temple there.
How long have you known Jacob?
Just maybe 4 months. It was about a month after he found me that he brought me into the temple where he thought that I would be able to exist there. He was a little unsure at first, and rightfully so. But once we got to know each other some, he trusted me enough to bring me in. So about 4 months. Quickly become closest thing to a brother I've had.
As I get ready to go to Elan and Emrys, you can't help but look up, Daz, at the squirrel about 3 feet above your head, cussing you out because you're blocking him from being able to come down out of the tree.
Oh, you again, little one. Just, I'm sorry. And I get up from my crisscross applesauce position and move so he can do what he wants to do.
He eventually gets done, stares you down for a little while as you get up and move, and finally climbs down the tree, kind of looks around where you were sitting, digs up an acorn that you were sitting on, curses you out some more in squirrel, and then runs to a different tree.
Just sit and watch.
Elan, Emerus. You're sitting at a table. Elan, how much do you drink?
I feel like Alon would be talking more than drinking, so let's go with 2 mugs of ale.
Emerus, how much do you drink?
In general, or at this meeting?
At this meeting.
I have one fruity drink, and I sip it.
Yeah,
Because I'm working on my nursing license.
Does Emerus usually drink more than one fruity drink?
Not usually. 2 usually at most.
Okay.
She's not a big drinker. She prefers to. She doesn't want her skills to be dampened by alcohol, just in case someone wants her to perform. You know, I don't know where if someone's like, "We need a song," she wants to be able to jump up and be like, "I got it." She is born for the entertainment. She is a born thespian.
The band on stage, which consists of two elves, and one of them is playing a lyre. The other one is playing a flute. A human who has some type of basically Congo drum box. The 3 of them are playing music that, let's be honest, it sucks. Elan, you can't drink these 2 drinks fast enough to make their music sound better. It is horrible. And Emerus, you were told they already had performers. You were not told they sucked. You have seen worse acts in nicer places that got booed. And you've seen better acts in worse places that have been yanked off the stage and thrown out on their asses. You do not understand how these 3 have the gall to call themselves bards. So as your sister Elan sits there on her second drink, telling you a story about what it was like when she was out there, and you sip on your fruity drink, every once in a while getting loud because you know you could do better than these 3 on stage.
By a long shot.
Do you get loud about that?
I'm trying to think of how Emrys would want to put it, because I know how I would put it would be that I would say, I know I can do better than this. However, maybe they're just having a bad night. But it does sound like claws on a chalkboard. Or a bunch of dying cats in a bag.
Even that would have more melody.
It probably would. You're absolutely right. It probably would. I'm just kind of politely giving glances. Like, I'm just...
Elan, give me an insight roll.
Holy crap, we're rolling dice.
My face is telling you for me. I don't have to say it for you to read my face to go, oh, yeah.
What'd
3.
A 3. Ilan, you can tell that Imris either doesn't like this music or doesn't like your story. But she is not thrilled. She is not happy. She is not having a good time.
Hmm. So, anyways, and that's when the bear came around. Hey, am I upsetting you? Like,
No, no.
is everything okay?
It's not you. It's the band. It's giving me a headache. Do you hear that?
I'm trying not to.
See, no, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to say nothing, but I looked over at you, and now I'm just. Ugh, my head's starting to hurt.
Yeah, I just wish that they had a band here at this time. It'd be nice to listen to some music.
Yeah, I know. It's disappointing they couldn't find anybody. But I mean, I guess it is a smaller town. But
Yeah, they
everybody
must not
comes
have
here for
much
the inn.
talent. They must not have much of a talent pool to pull from. I guess the band was sick. That's what I'd heard. They must have
Yeah,
pulled the nearest three people who knew how to play an instrument.
it's got to be the case. I mean, I pity them. Really, I do.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody come walking up to you. It's a rather husky-looking human, maybe a half elf, but I mean they're pretty thick. They're a beefy half orc, half elf, beefy half elf.
So a 3/4 elf.
Maybe a quarter
Sorry.
elf actually, 3/4 human. So you two think you could really do better?
Yeah, absolutely.
I bet my left horn on it.
Hey, I like my horns.
I said my horn.
I know,
I
still.
I kind of flick my hair and I have like little gems like hanging off the ends of my horn, so they kind of rattle a little bit, just for dramatic effect.
Okay.
I
Then
sip my drink.
Let's see what you can do. And he walks right up to the stage and calls them over. He tells them to stop. And points over towards you guys, and they look disgusted, but they come down off the stage. And he turns and looks at you two. Okay.
Well, let's do this.
What do you
Milan
two do?
hops up.
What do you play, Elan?
What do you... So
Do you play something?
yeah, so all I can think of is like our actual music. So basically just think the Rocky Road to Dublin.
Okay.
I could do that.
What kind of
A
instrument
good
do you have?
traveling song, but I am playing a guitar.
Okay.
I have an acoustic guitar. It is blue. It's got a hummingbird on the pick guard, and it is beat to hell. Very obviously secondhand, shabby, pulled out of a rubbish heap somewhere. Somehow made to be working again, but when you actually play it, it is perfectly in tune. It just looks like shit.
Immerse?
I play a flute. It's a wooden flute with golden, like embroidery on it. Yeah,
Okay.
filigree on it. So it's like it's not painted or anything. It's just like an old like polished wooden flute. Has a couple little like nicks in it from travel, but there's some golden filigree in it, so it's just very classic. The mouthpiece is like a auburn blood red color.
Okay. So I'm going to give
It's
you
like a
two a
family
choice.
heirloom.
Either one of you can assist the other one to where one of you rolls at advantage. If you inspire, whatever, use your inspiration, I don't care, but one of you can help the other to where you roll advantage. Or you both roll and I take the average.
Think Alon.
I mean, it's hard to go wrong with one roll with advantage.
Sure. I can roll for you for advantage. So you have the advantage.
Okay.
Consider it a gift as sisters reacquainting.
Okay, give me that performance at advantage.
Which when are we rolling? D what?
Well, you don't have to.
20.
Because Elon is the one that you're giving advantage to.
Oh, I've got a 14 and an 18.
Okay. It is much, much, much better than the garbage that you were listening to that I rolled a 2 with. Even your 14 would have been better, okay? But that was like you started off there and then you got better as you two kept playing together. The human and the two elves are sitting there staring at you disgusted. But people start looking happier. The crowd start nodding, start tapping their foot a little bit. One guy even starts dancing. And spirits start flowing. Not just good spirits in nature, but good spirits in liqueur and liquid. I want both of you to give me a D12.
I'm not sure I actually have one. It's a 20.
How's a 7?
Okay.
I should have a 12. Hold on. I found one. I found D12. 10.
Okay. So, you guys find as you finish up your set, and I mean you guys play for several songs, that quarter elf walks up to you again. He goes, "You two available after dinner? About 2 turns of the hourglass?"
I am, absolutely. Alon?
Absolutely.
Okay. You can keep what's on the stage, and when you come back after dinner, I'll give you 10% of what I get at the door. You got 2 hours to go promote yourselves in the city and bring me some customers.
You have yourself a deal, good sir.
Indeed.
And you guys have a
She
total
holds out her hand to
of
shake.
7, he shakes your hand, 7 silver and 10 copper. Split however you want.
All right. Thank you, good sir.
You are very appreciated.
See you
We will see
shortly
you
after
after
dinner.
You've got mail.
Absolutely. So,
You guys go out and
Emrys.
start promoting.
Yes.
1 second. So, before we leave, are the previous performers still there?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna split the pay evenly. and then I'm going to take, let's call it 2 of my silver, and bring it over to the band. You guys did play for a while, so you did earn some money. It's the least I can do.
You guys were really good. Really,
Thank you.
Really good.
It took a lot of time and practice to get to this level. I could teach you some if you want. I know it's not quite the same viola, or what was it? Viola?
Liar.
I know it's not exactly the same lyre to guitar, but there's a lot of techniques that carry over. So after our performance after dinner, I could definitely teach you, and you could, improve and make even more money next time.
Okay. Yeah. I'd appreciate that. Thanks.
Excellent. I'll see you then.
Okay.
And I bounce away.
Yeah.
Bounce away, grab Emerus, and we go off into the city.
Off in
Yeah.
the city.
Solana, and then we'll go to pizza after Solana. Solana, you get back home. You're making lunch for your siblings. You're taking care of mom. You're doing all your chores, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does Solana do for fun, and when does she do it?
Well, when she gets the free time, she is often in her room. She's got herself a sketchbook that she saved money for, and she will, sketch a little bit here and there, doodle in in a journal, and kind of recount her um, thoughts that she can't exactly say out loud in her little journal that she keeps with her. Um, when she isn't taking care of her family, she's out and about. She's probably socializing. She often
Is there a boy?
takes. Hmm?
Is there a boy?
No,
Is there a lady?
most likely, yeah, but
Okay, there's a
she
lady.
she's too
Who?
she's too chicken to say anything. Probably a friend of hers.
Okay. Elf, half
They
elf, or
hang out.
human?
Half elf.
Okay.
Probably someone who can reach the top shelf, which is very useful because she's literally 3 feet tall. So, yeah, she's often helping grab things and as needed. So they've grown quite close as friends. So,
Does she know you like her?
no, definitely not. It's more of a I'm gonna write this in my journal, and if the yeah, she keeps it to her journal. She At least for now, at this point, because she's like, yeah, no, 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 I'm not. Yeah. She's way too busy devoting herself to her family. She's not really thinking of romance or for herself. She's learning to take more time for herself for her sanity, but when she isn't taking time for prayer or tending to her family, she does enjoy her friends' company,
What is her
often
friend's
getting into
name?
mischief. Hmm. Let's go with Elwyn, because that sounds fancy. I don't
Ellen?
know. Elowyn.
Elowen.
Halloween.
Okay.
Elowyn.
2 L's, right?
1 L.
1 L.
What do we
Mhm.
have in this party? We have 2 bards, 2 clerics, and what and what?
Two
And a
bards, two
paladin.
clerics, and a paladin.
And a
Walk
paladin.
into a bar.
Yep. So
I may
you're
have found you another
outside.
player, study.
Really? Okay.
Uh huh. Continue. Sorry.
Okay, but they got to play a paladin, so it's 2 clerics, 2 bards, and 2 paladins. I'm joking.
He wants to be a cleric. He wants to be a cleric.
Sweet. That'd be awesome.
Ooh, clerics and bards. No.
Just
No.
let them know that there is 1 cleric of war and 1 cleric of life.
Okay. It's Bubble Frog. He just joined DFG. So if you want to shoot him a
okay.
message, he's Scottish.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And he says that he wants to play an unapologetically Scottish dwarf cleric.
Ooh.
Nice.
I told him to
Nice.
shoot you a message.
Okay.
I just couldn't remember what else we had in the parties. That's why I was like, out of character really quick, what is the other person, what's other race we have in here? Or what's other class? I couldn't remember top of my head. I thought it was Paladin, but I could be wrong.
So tell me, Solana, what the... As you're sitting there, where are you? Near your home? Are you? Did you go to a field? Where did you go to sit down and just write in your journal to have some alone time?
Probably a field. She wants to keep her distance a little bit from her family because if they probably see her in a window, they will probably come out and bug her. So she kind of does enjoy her privacy from time to time.
Understandable. What type of field is this? Is this a grain field? Is it a farm field with animals? Is it a
I
cornfield?
feel like it would be probably a grain field.
Okay.
Probably a couple random flowers around that she often grabs and either makes bouquets to brighten up the table or even winds into her hair.
You're sitting there writing in your journal. And your peripheral vision to the left, you see flittering. And as you look that way, you see a butterfly. And it flitters around to your left and eventually comes to where it's right in front of you. You've stopped writing in your journal. You've stopped sketching. You're just sitting there staring at this beautiful butterfly. It lands on your book. And it just kind of turns and looks at you. It's so peaceful. So beautiful. You hold out your hand like that?
Yeah, she'll let it, if it wants to, then she'll let it land on her hand.
It does. It flutters up and it lands on your hand. And
It's the little things in life that are so pretty. I guess I really don't have much time to really notice them. But when they do pop up, it's kind of nice.
And as you're thinking those pleasant, sweet thoughts, as you often do, at the last second you hear a caw, and a raven snatches the butterfly off your hand
What the hell was that for?
and flies off, eating the butterfly.
Well, that was unexpected.
As you
Tis the
look
circle of
around,
life, I guess.
the clouds have started dripping down a little bit. starting to get a little darker. Almost ominous. The wind starts picking up.
What is going on?
You hear a crackle of thunder as the tree, less than 10 feet away from you, is struck by lightning.
What is happening? This doesn't seem normal.
The sky opens up and rain starts pouring down upon you. The raindrops so heavy it almost hurts your skin.
As quickly as possible, she's tucking her journal, she's closing the journal, grabbing her supplies as quickly as possible, trying to. She probably has a small little cloak that she keeps around just for comfort, and she's probably tucking it in, trying to make sure that her journal and stuff stays intact, the best she can at least. She's still a little panicked at the moment. She's not expecting all of this, so she's kind of stunned. She doesn't exactly know where all of this came from. She doesn't understand, but she knows something must be up.
The
That
sky
it's not
got
normal.
dark so quickly that as you're looking around and the rain's coming down so hard, Solana, you're not sure. If you didn't know the tree was behind you, you wouldn't know where to go to get home. That's how bad the field of vision has become from the rain pounding down. Your hair, the hood that you have pulled up over you is drenched to where it hangs down, to where it almost covers your eyes when it's soaking wet. Peter. A very well dressed man walks up to you. Pulls the chair out and sits down at the table with you.
I don't look up at him, but I do say, "Can I help you?"
You're Peter, no?
That gets my attention. And you know this because
Peter, I know this because of Svetlana.
who are you?
That does not matter who I am. I assume you want your girl back.
How would you know where she is?
Again, you ask a question, and I'm not offering you answers. Tell me, Peter, if you found out that somebody had taken your girl, your sweet, lovely Svetlana, would you go anywhere to get her back?
The ends of Faerun.
Only
Avernus.
Faerun.
Let me finish. Avernus. The plains. No place would be too far. No one could stop me. To the ends of creation and time.
Good, good. And when you found out who took your sweet Savannah, what would you do to them?
That is not proper talk in a public place. Why, are you the one that took her?
No. But I know who did. I know why they did. And they did it to fuck with me.
What exactly do you want with me?
I want you to go find the ones who took your Svetlana and make them pay for it.
Give me a where. Give me a place. Give me a name.
As the night falls, when the fog rolls in, make sure you're on the dock. Make sure you're near the Raven's Claw. He stands up, drops 3 gold on the table. It's to pay for your drinks. It's to pay for a whore.
Oh, someone's going to pay.
And make sure you bring me a bottle of wine. And you see him walk out. Daz. The bell rings. The bell never rings at this time. You see your brother-in-law running towards the chapel.
Jacob,
Yeah.
what is going on?
They only ring the bell like this when there is a mission that the elders need us to go on. When there is a war, when there is a monster, when help is needed. It's the only time they ring the bell like this.
Should I come? Should I stay here?
We all need to go.
Lead the way.
He goes ahead and kind of quickly, not running, but quickly walking, goes into the chapel. And as you and him walk in together, you see the bishop pointing at different other acolytes, young knights, young warriors like yourself who have not been that experienced before, handing them paperwork. He comes up and he hands you and Jacob both scrolls. Says, Jacob, Daz, a great evil has been seen in our lands. None of you are ready to face this evil. None of you will be considered a threat, though, either. So we need you to find where this evil is, where this evil went. Leave immediately.
Torm will guide us.
Torm will guide you. Leave immediately. By nightfall, be on a journey by yourself. Let Torm lead you. This letter is a writ. It will give you permission to go anywhere along the Sword Coast.
I will do this, Father. Thank you.
Be careful, boys. It's a vampire lord. And somehow he made it into our realm. And we need to figure out how.
Will not let you down.
With that, it is 10 o'clock. We're going to end for the evening. I wanted to give you all a little bit of taste, get you all ready for your adventures, give you an idea of where you're headed, what you're doing. And I want to thank each and every single one of you, because the dice have already started telling me what the story is about. And I love it. I love it. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
2 clerics, 2 bards, and a paladin walked into a bar.
That ain't the start of an epic story or the
I know,
best
right?
joke ever. I don't know what is.
This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. This was session 0 with a little bit of role play at the end. I hope you guys liked it. They'll be back in 2 weeks. I know, it sucks, doesn't it? 2 weeks? I gotta wait 2 weeks
It's
for
just like
this.
more.
It sucks.
But you got to come back next week for the other Tuesday, folks. I mean, come on now.
Come back tomorrow night for the Wednesday. Come back Thursday for the ladies. You know what? Just every night, Sunday through Thursday, go to Twitch, this channel, hang out and watch us. You're going to have a blast. You're going to make a lot of new friends. You're going to meet a lot of new people. You're gonna check out Floki's Tavern. You're gonna check out Dumpster Fire Gaming. Dumpster Fire Gaming. You're gonna buy some shirts from either TTRPG Swag or my merch mistress. You're definitely gonna buy some dice. Trust me, you'll buy some dice. And we'll see
Don't
you
threaten
next
me with
time.
good time.
Right? You guys don't have a name yet because you're just getting started, but 2 bards, 2 clerics, and a paladin. Why don't you tell the fine folks good evening, and you'll see them next time.
Good night,
Y'all have a good
everyone.
night.
Night. Thanks
See
for
you
hanging.
later.